up, wrestling fans? This is the Monday Night Raw. To those of you who are actually still awake right now, congratulations. You should deserve a trophy of some kind. I don't know what kind of trophy that would be, but there's so much to correct about what they did tonight on Monday Night Raw. It's almost unbelievable. If you're new to the channel, I hope you guys subscribe down below. Like, comment, share, whatever the hell you want to do, and get ready because I'm either going to fall asleep during this review or I'm going to flip the fuck out, and I don't know which one's going to happen, quite honestly.
This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude.
I legitimately need coffee. Please, somebody kill me. Somebody fucking kill me out there. I mean, there's been other YouTubers stalked and murdered. Like, I mean, you know. We can't make... this is ridiculous. I gotta be honest with you, Jake. I need coffee. I'm gonna have to...
something...
In a few minutes, I'm gonna literally have to go make coffee and wait because I can't. I want to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I had a long shit day, and I'm like, all right, Frontier for whatever reason, Xbox Live, Comcast in this area, everything's down right now.
Huh.
So I was able. I missed the first like 10 minutes of Raw, and then it would go out occasionally. My cable box didn't work at all. So on top of it being a shitty night, I had to watch it in like 240p, all squiggly. On a restreamed, watch wrestling website. You spend all this money on a cable, provider that I guess there's some data outage on the East Coast that's having issues for a lot of people. A lot of different sites have been affected. YouTube, Twitter, Steam, Xbox Live has been down for a good part of the evening. So, but yeah, I mean, this was just unfortunately a real rushed show. That's the best way to explain it. They had all this time to plan and prepare and get things ahead, and really the only thing they had to change was Sasha Banks not being able to attend for the first opening match against Becky Lynch. So she was replaced by Charlotte Flair, and that was for the first overall draft pick for the second night. Everything else, went according to their plan. I say the only positive of tonight was, the Viking Raiders experience getting an excellent reaction for winning the tag team titles against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Yeah, I would say
those are hardworking individuals who have.
Where were they tonight, though? Where were they tonight?
They were in Denver.
Okay, but yeah. So that was the best moment of the night. Was the Viking Raiders?
The crowd was freaking out for them. Give them a great ovation for their win, and I mean. Some of the stuff that they hit there was absolutely incredible. And I say this week in, week out. For big guys, they are just so athletically impressive. They shouldn't be able to maneuver their bodies in such ways.
And Ivar hasn't even done
with that.
Has he not
did
even
that backhanded springboard?
But he doesn't even done his big move yet. Like, I don't know if they're not allowing him to, or like he doesn't want to give it up yet. But he hasn't even done his. He can do a moonsault off the top rope to the outside. He can do a shooting star press.
Yeah,
and
like you said, he's got a lot of top rope aerial maneuvers that maybe they're saving it.
Maybe when the people see that, because I keep waiting for it. Like, when's he gonna do? Maybe he stopped doing it, but like again, I've seen him do that. I've seen Hansen do that.
Yeah, because just
so
the top rope
times.
splash on Ziggler had the crowd, you know, really coming alive. And then when he went ahead and did the, springboard back elbow, that was hugely impressive, and the crowd really got behind them. So it is interesting to see them, booked as faces. I wasn't sure how that was going to work, but it's working well. I give them credit for that, and we'll see what happens going forward. But you can tell that the crowd, for those in the know, really want to get that war chant started again. So you can see a few of them. It's a minor few, but you can hear it just ever so softly in the background. War, war.
I don't know why. Like Vince, if the case is that he just didn't like the name, then that's different, because then they could do the war thing somehow, incorporate that.
That's what he said. It had nothing to do with it being the word war. He just didn't like the name.
So if you didn't like they could say stuff like, instead of saying it's like raiding time or whatever they're saying, they could say it's time for war, or it's wartime or something, and that would please everybody. But whatever. The other thing was Buddy Murphy and Cedric. They had a pretty good little match, and that was about it. I can't think of.
Black and Eric Young was a letdown. I mean, a lot of it was just rushed and quick. Ricochet and Benjamin, I was like, oh, this will be good. Nope, that was rushed.
Let me grab my coffee here. It's almost done.
Yeah, the big comedy moment of me for the night was the USA executives freaking out and high-fiving each other and celebrating because they got R-Truth. So I understand they want to procure more titles, and have more championships on the Raw brand, but their excitement level for getting R-Truth. Not saying he's not, a great talent, because he is. He's extremely entertaining, but they were just way too hyped to go ahead and have him be just their last draft pick at that point. And that defeats the purpose of the 24/7 title anyways. That's the one thing that nobody argues about, having the chance to go back and forth between shows. That wild card rule is built into that title ostensibly, without issue. That's it. You have a chance to go everywhere and constantly defend the thing. So, most of the night, even Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander, like it was a good match, but again, certain things felt rushed, and I know we can get more out of everyone and everything that we got tonight. I really I didn't care for much of the night, unfortunately. I like what Fury had to say. It backs up, and it makes but then again, in the way they're building this angle, it's confusing. I'll have to pick Joe's brain about that, so I'll hold off more thoughts until he returns. But all in all, you kind of saw where they were going with Natalya needing a partner. A lack of options, really. But with the fact that she chose Lacey Evans, it makes sense, because this is what they did with the Bar before. A lot of times we've seen, opponents face each other time and time and time again, and then they gain respect for one another. That kind of seems to be what happened here. Even though the Kabuki Warriors won, it looked, like this will be a rematch, and they will go ahead and eventually take the tag titles off of the Kabuki Warriors. I really feel like Natalya and Lacey Evans will be champs. If not next week, then probably by Crown, right after Crown Jewel time. I know they won't be there, but probably the week after. So it was odd though, because is Lacey a face now that she's with Natalya? And are you saying that the Kabuki Warriors are definitely heels? It also felt like that was a really odd choice to have that as the main event of the night, because there was no real build to it. It just kind of was, a wet fart. It happened, and people, barely paid attention. So, also the whole Firefly Funhouse ending, I didn't like that at all. That's the first Funhouse moment that I absolutely did not care for, and no fault of Bray's really. It was just bizarre. I didn't didn't like the idea of them being able to access the funhouse so readily. It takes away from the idea of it being a location and a safe house. Now it just feels like, oh, it's not really a house. It's just a corner and backstage that they have set up for Bray. As where before, it felt like Pee-wee's Playhouse or Mr. Rogers' home. You know, it really had that childlike wonder about it, you know, that they were going for. And this was his, you know, his castle. And now it just looks like, oh, it's just like Ms. TV or any other set that they can just throw out. I mean, we knew that was the case, but they're ruining the magic every step of the way. Seth should not have been able to just be backstage tromping around, fiend hunting. I don't recall anyone, you know, hunting the Undertaker and hunting. You know, the Fiend should be hunting you. He should be scared still, even though he had to go to a dark place to end the match at Hell in a Cell, which people still booed tonight. Even when he brought that back up during his promo, the fans were not happy about it. Still to this day, I'm baffled by the entire thing. Why did they decide to go this way with Bray? They're ruining it. They are. I hate to admit it. So many people warned us. Even Joe had said, you know, it time and time again it happens. And I just tried to hold fast hope with this one because Bray worked so hard. I mean, these were ideas that he had 5-6 years ago, even for some of it. You know, he started in 2015 giving us glimpses and you know, little nuggets of truth about who the Fiend was. And, you know, these are ideas that he's tried to plant in our subconscious for, you know, many episodes and promos and matches now. This is something that he really worked hard to build and deliver. All that time he was off TV to build up this angle, and they're destroying it so quickly. He's had two matches, and already it doesn't have the same aura about it, the same intensity, the same feel. Seth should be scared shitless anytime the Fiend's around. He shouldn't be searching for him to burn it down. He should be out of his mind trying to not even so much hide, but, you know, at least be more cautious of his surroundings. More people were afraid of the boogeyman eating worms than they are of the Fiend, and it just feels ass backwards here. You heard people booing when he burnt the funhouse down. You heard people boo. This was supposed to be a big moment for Seth Rollins, essentially, you know, and the fans are rejecting it. They don't want Bray Wyatt's, you know, Fiend character to be treated this way. I'm shocked. Who thought that was a good idea? They've burnt down Bray Wyatt's home before. It didn't work well. What are you doing now? You know, is WWE going to go ahead and you know, double down here and really go ahead and screw the pooch, or are they going to listen to the fans finally and try and recover some of this? I mean, our history is not on our side for these things, unfortunately, Chat. You know,
they're following all the same footsteps as before.
Bray Wyatt, with Roman, you know, we've seen it now. Seth is Roman, and they're doing the same thing.
Wyatt can't win the title for some reason.
Yeah,
Randy Orton burns down in his house. The talks of Sister Abigail now instead of the talks of Bray, like they're like the Fiend. Like, this is
because the way I viewed the Funhouse, it wasn't somewhere, you know, just backstage. Like, it was an actual home that Wyatt had that he would, you know, air these episodes from. That's kind of how they explained it, or at least showcased it. Now you're making it look as like, oh, it's just a small little fake set backstage.
Yeah, it really did.
You know, for so long, it had a door, it had an entranceway, it looked like an entire home. Realistically, you know, we knew, obviously, it was just a set, but they weren't supposed to treat it that way. So how did Seth get there? How did he, you know, Bray at least could say he has magical powers in some form or fashion. And then with Bray saying, like, why are you doing this? Why are you beating me down? Where was the Fiend to protect him? He says, don't worry, he protects us. It just, you can hear the fans just so audibly booing Seth destroying the Funhouse and burning it down. Anybody else would be cheering because, oh, you're taking down the monster, but not in this case. It just gets worse and
it's
worse.
So bad, dude. Like, I gotta tell you, man,
they shoot themselves in the foot constantly. I'm absolutely baffled at what they're deciding to do here. I mean, same thing with like the Kabuki Warriors. So they're not heels, but they are heels. Then you add the mist, so you want to make them, showcased as heels, but you don't really label it as cheating. And now Lacey Evans is suddenly a face because she teams with Natalya.
Dude, when she brought her out, dude, I woke up. I gotta tell you, man, I wish to God that you guys could have been watching me live streaming like a reaction, because I will tell you, Jake, that I was laid down on the couch in the basement on a pillow in the basement, and I looked like this, like
dying.
And I was just like watching all this stuff, just thinking I want to die. And then Natalya comes out and goes, here's my partner, and I know her well and all these things. And I'm like, whatever, what? And then when she announced Lacey Evans and Lacey Evans came out to stand with her, I fucking rose off the couch like a zombie off the couch. And I was just like, dude, this laugh, the neighbors think I killed my family.
Yeah,
like there's
that real
no doubt.
Joker-esque mental break at that point. And I kind of like, I see what they're going for. They did it with the bar. They've done it before where you have people face each other so many times that they gain respect for one another. But this felt like especially heinous, like unnecessary and foolish, really. You just had such a definitive, set of matches between these two. No time has passed.
Well, but then
they teased the audience. They teased the audience, Joe, because the last person minutes before Natalya came out was Liv Morgan, and she said Liv Morgan got drafted to Raw. So then you get the ring entrances, and then she said she needs a partner. So everyone's kind of thinking like, oh, Liv Morgan's going to be back. And I see people on Twitter like, oh, sweet, Liv Morgan's coming out. And then they're like, oh, no, it's Lacey Evans.
But who even cares about that anyway, though, when you think about it?
Yeah, but
they're just,
the whole thing is just...
They're trying to be excited for Liv Morgan, but why? I like her too in a way, but what? But so I thought, okay, well, I'm laughing now, and after I stopped laughing like a hyena. I was like, well, this is actually maybe brilliant, because maybe Lacey's gonna now turn on Natalya like, you stupid bitch, like you thought like whatever the hell, because she wants to get back at her for what happened. That makes sense. So, Natalya's a moron and like believes her. Natalya went to her and was like, listen, like let's set aside our differences now, and like I want you to go to war with me because you're that tough. I learned that wrestling you. And she'd be like, oh yeah. But then she just turns on her, and that's how they keep that feud going, because they wanted that feud to keep going, it sounded like. But now it's sort of like a safety net, putting her in a tag thing, and nothing happens at the end.
Yeah, and next week they'll take the tag titles. Watch.
Just like, what the fuck are they doing? And the draft people wearing the same clothes as the other night. Everybody's in the same clothes, so they shot all this footage of the Raw, the war room, all in one day.
Like I said, they were freaking out, high-fiving each other because they had the procurement of R-Truth. They made that announcement that we're drafting R-Truth, and they start high-fiving like it's the best thing they've ever done. And I'm like, R-Truth's great and all, yeah, but you're that excited because you got the 24/7 title is supposed to be on both shows and everywhere, So why are you excited that it's Raw when the title itself is not exclusive to Raw?
Can Raw and SmackDown explain to me why they took Akira Tozawa over the King of the Ring, Baron Corbin?
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of choices that
like, what are we doing? What the fuck are you doing?
There's so many free agents. And then here's the thing that I missed, that because I'm watching the stream that kept cutting out. So they announced that at Crown Jewel we're going to get Seth Rollins versus Bray, the Fiend, in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So we're going to see if that ends in DQ again.
Yeah.
But it's going to be for the Universal title. And here's the problem, though. So that's the draft has already happened. Bray Wyatt's now on SmackDown. And Matt the Misfit had said it a bunch of times to me tonight. They kept stating over and over again that this trade is happening in the next 24 hours. A big trade is happening. And both him and I said it unanimously, agreed that I guarantee Bray Wyatt is going to be traded back to Raw.
And if he is, I mean, SmackDown is yikes.
Yeah, they're a bit gutted already. I mean, they lost Charlotte, they lost Becky, they don't have, and it was weird the way they waited till night 2 for most of the champions, and I didn't even hear them say Bayley till later on. I mean, like it's just the whole thing was like Do you even care about your women's champion? Do you care about the way they did it? They should have said, well, we don't need to draft our champions because they stay the same because, you know, they're on this show and that show. The U.S. title and the IC title should be up to be drafted. That makes sense. But if you have the Raw Women's Champion, you're not going to have her on SmackDown. So that shouldn't even be an issue to be drafted. That's the point.
By the way,
is just baffling. So I don't know what they're going to do with this Fiend match now, unless he does get traded back to Raw, or else already you have the you know wild card rule that's no longer in existence back in effect. And then on top of it, if you know, then we know that Bray essentially can't win there because then he'd be taking the Universal title over to SmackDown, and the whole thing is just a convoluted, crazy mess.
I have to say, first of all, that was JD Venom who told me about the Akira Tozawa thing. But second of all, they are allowed to say Saudi Arabia again. So that's the fourth time they've said it. So
yes.
Clearly they are saying Saudi Arabia again. That's not. No one's going to get smacked backstage. They're actually just allowed to say it. So a lot of people were like saying that every time someone said it, they were like, "Oh, that guy's going to get in trouble." No, they're all allowed to say it now. What the fuck with Braun Strowman and that boxing idiot? What was that?
This is one of the things I was waiting to bring up to you, because they went ahead and the other day they had, you know, Tyson Fury give his reasoning as to why he was doing this, and he said that he was he was always had an interest in WWE, and when you're good at one sport, you can learn to be good at any sport, and he had some good reasoning here. And he said that his kids absolutely loved wrestling and they loved Braun Strowman. So he thought that it would be, you know, something great for them to go to the SmackDown. And that's when Braun got in his face. So that's why he agreed to the match.
You want to beat up your kid's hero?
That's what I'm saying. So that's like, oh, our dad's going to be happy that we beat up Braun, even though we love him. So that was odd. And then again, if that is the case, so they're there to bring your kid, you know, he's there to bring his children to see their hero, Braun Strowman. They love how many trucks he's flipped and how many sets he's destroyed and how many people get these hands. And then Braun gets in his face. So you make Braun look like the bully yet again, but he's still the face. You make him look like the asshole, basically it's just, you know, that caveman like just moron. How is that beneficial to any of this? I don't know. Like I said, the whole angle built up to just be a wet fart, I said before, and that's unfortunately about as much as I can take with that.
When Seth Rollins said burn it down, did you not think feed me more? Burn it down. He said
it earlier too, you know, in the first promo, and I'm like, the promo wasn't half bad until you whip that out. But you end on that, and immediately it's like it's got to go out the window.
Well, you knew he was going to say it. When he first walked into the stage, I went, oh, my God, he's going to burn the stage down, and he's going to say burn it down. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like, it was so obvious, and it wasn't even, he hadn't come close to burning anything yet. And I was like, oh, my God, he's going to burn the fucking set down. This is so ridiculously stupid. And then they did it. I was like, and then it's going to, oh, my God, it's happening. Let me play a donation. People are wondering about those. Yes, they are on. Here they come. Matt Rundle. Rhymes with Grundle. I like that. You got my vote, Matt. Matt, thank you for subscribing to the channel, man. What's going on? And if you guys want to donate tonight, the link is in the description below, or you can super chat over there. Whatever's easier for you guys.
About to get it, man. Here we go. About to get it, man. Here we go.
Why Society is chiming in. What's up, Why Society?
Best Raw episode of all time, 100 out of 10. My goodness, was that ending rushed or what? Also, it was cringy as hell to burn it down.
Honestly, though...
Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, beaming face with smiling eyes, beaming face with smiling eyes, grinning face with big eyes, grinning face with big eyes.
Are you making fun of white people? Why Society? Nah, Why Society, thank you for the $5, man, and the $5 super chat party. But you know what? That was not the worst thing to me that happened. You know what I mean? Like, the Raw was so bad that was actually like something that I would kind of give like a little bit of a thumbs up because it was interesting, I guess. You know what I mean? Super chat. But it was literally 2 minutes long.
Lana's in the back getting it long dick style from creepy ass Trashly.
What the fuck was that?
Acting like Negan with a bat out on that pussy.
You like that? You like that, Lana? What the fuck is wrong with Bobby Lashley, dude? What a freaky, weird fuck he is.
You can go deeper.
You can go deeper. Like, I mean, I get it all, but like, dude, Lashley is like a fucking, like a rapist who got out of jail and is allowed to play with women.
Yeah, he's a pedo bear.
Yeah, he's like a pedophile, like allowed to play with their victims. Like, that's what he looked like. He didn't look like a dude who was like, yeah, baby, what's up? You want some of this? He looked more like a guy who was like, had drugged her, and he knew it. And he was like,
Gonna get me some
he's like,
as soon as she falls asleep.
I found that Bill Cosby sex tape, all those tapes he made of those women. I'm going to do the same thing.
It's my idol.
Dude, what the fuck?
You know what bothered me more than the Lashley stuff? And it's so simple, but to me, it's irritating beyond belief, really gets under my skin, is that we get another pre-recorded vignette from Ricochet, and it's all with him, you know, I'm going to prove that superheroes can be real, Jiminy Willikers, golly gee, mister. It's just, it's infuriating. Why you have someone that's just such a damn good talent in the ring, either forward, shut the fuck up, or just somebody do something different with him, please. This whole I'm gonna go out there and show you that, you know, heroes are real and we can fly. Yeah. And he's so just cringy and nerdy sounding.
Like Seth.
Somebody that's supposed to, yeah, but worse in a way tonight too. He sounded even more just nasally and it was like he was whining instead of sounding, he sounded like, you know, the AV nerd trying to sound cool if he thought Seth Rollins was cool. So it was like a parody of Seth Rollins's promo work. It wasn't even his own. It just, superheroes can be real. You know, it's that just, I'd be humiliated if I was him, honestly. He's got a good look. He's a good looking guy. He's got, you know, the good physique. He's incredibly impressive in the ring. And then you open your mouth and you just ruin it all.
I've always been worried about his promo stuff because his promo stuff has always been like,
yeah, you said it back
I'm
in
gonna
NXT
go out there
before then.
Yeah, it never was like this though. This is like it was always more like, man, I'll tell you, we've had some great matches in the past, me and him, and tonight I'm gonna go out there and prove why I'm just that step above him. When I fly in that ring tonight, you're gonna find out why I'm Ricochet and why I do what I do and why I'm that much better than Bob. You know, whatever the fuck. Like, and it was always like, like he doesn't really have a good sort of promo or whatever.
But at least then it was a little more sincere. Now it's anybody that's good, you know, with aerial maneuvers and top rope, you know, basically moves. Vince sees that. It's just like, bam, got to put a cape on him. They got to be a superhero. You know, the man that gravity forgot. And, you know, he did it with Evan Bourne. He did it with, you know, it just time and time again. That's his real goal. He just, you know, Neville, he's going to be like Mighty Mouse, you know, and we see it. And it's like, we don't need any more superheroes. We're all Marvel, DC, you know.
Yeah, we don't need any more midget superheroes.
Exactly.
Right?
So
I get having a character of some kind. That doesn't bother me, and if that falls into that category, whatever. I don't even mind Ricochet, but I want Ricochet to be more like energetic on the mic too, or be like, you know, like he just can't. This is so bad, man. Like I'm so tired. I can't even think of words to tell you.
Well, if you're gonna be a superhero, do something a la The Boys that came out. You know, where you're gonna be at least be a bit more gritty and real, down to earth. Instead of this whole, like, I can really fly. No, you can't fly, but say how you're, you know, more human than human. You have above average strength and you know, your feats are far superior to other people in the ring. You can say these things and get it over without sounding like a total nerd and basket case.
By the way, Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt in the dark match tonight, they're there, and the red light's with them.
Really? So they're going to do this continually now?
Apparently.
Oh, God. That was painful to watch at Hell in a Cell. It gave a lot of people a headache. It was just impossible to see, especially with the red cell on top of it.
Oh.
live photos, you couldn't even see. It's hard enough to see in those cell matches, as you know.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
with that light in the red cell, people couldn't make out what was going on. I'd be pissed. You spend all those money for tickets to just see a blur.
Yeah, it's really hard to see it. And I mean, the red is hard to see anyway. So now it's make everything red. There's no accent color at all. Oh God, I can't even believe it. Here comes Sean Spears. What up, DC Derek?
Best Raw of all time. Imperfections. 10 out of 10. Impact should be scared.
Impact should be scared. DC Derek with a fucking donation from like 5 years ago, I guess. Holy shit, dude. Let me get you up on the board, DC Derek. Thanks for the donation, man. You guys keep the show going, so all the donations are appreciated. That's how we roll here, man. Or we roll out the door and Joe Cronin goes to the unemployment line. DC
I
Derek,
really
thanks.
think that Blockbuster trade is going to be the Fiend, though. I think, just like Matt had said and others,
Yeah.
I think that big thing is it's just going to be that they're sending Bray Wyatt back to Raw.
That is, why do you think that is? Do you think that's because
Just
they
because
fucked up?
they don't have, everything's not done with Seth. They have the match at Crown Jewel. And I guess even past Crown Jewel, they're going to do something at Survivor
Why announce
Series
him
as
at
well.
Why announce him at SmackDown then? What the hell?
Just to make people pop, I guess.
What?
And then so they can, because to have a trade, something else to be excited about on Friday, try and drive people to tune in. Like, oh, who's going to get traded? Now, we get one big blockbuster trade on SmackDown. Who's it going to be? Make sure you tune in to find out. So I like what Ken Gunn said in the chat. He said, oh my God, can it be Wednesday? Darby Allin cut an amazing promo on Jericho.
Right.
So good. I had seen it earlier, sent to me by a few people on Twitter. Fantastic. I cannot wait to see, that title match Wednesday. Those are the kind of promos that I've been missing. And I didn't even realize how much I was missing it until, you get reminded, like, oh, this is what wrestling could be. And I'm not trying to slobber all over AEW, because there's still a lot that they need to work on, obviously. But for what they are getting right, like that, I even rewatched that Moxley promo one more time because it was just that damn good. And for something to, get you that hyped and into a match, that's what they need. They need to refocus on the characters here, not the idea of the character, but the actual character himself.
Right.
Alan's, not talking about how I'm undead and I'm a zombie and I will turn you into the undead and make you. No, he said it only takes a few seconds for that title to change hands. It only take, he made it realistic, and he just, oh my God, he just played it up so well.
Well, I just froze my XSplit, so everybody's gonna have to refresh their stream in a second. So my bad on that. I froze it trying to get the DC Derek name on the board, because I don't know why my computer's on the end of its life and can't really get a new one right now. So I am so sorry that it's frozen on title screen right now. I'm just going to have to restart it. You may have to just refresh your screens in a second, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, literally, that whole thing fit up my ass and just incredible and painful. We're not on the air, right, still?
Oh, no.
All right, just checking. But, yeah, I'll send you the pictures later.
Yeah, send me pictures of your dick.
Hey, we're back. But, yeah, I I went ahead and, honestly, we've seen Charlotte and Becky so many times. And I was like, oh, champion versus champion. That is how much Charlotte losing didn't stick out in my mind. I forgot that Bayley, who's now heel Bayley, with the haircut and no more wacky, wavy, inflating, flailing arm tube men bullshit. I did like her heel turn. It's a little too late, but we'll see what they do with it. I'm sure they'll mess that up as well. But the match they had tonight was good. It was good. And the spear for the near fall, I was like that. And then Flair I liked the little bit of character that they threw into the end of this match, because all right, she hits her with the spear. She already hit her with natural selection. She got the 2 count both times. So she's just, she's pissed. She's enraged. And she starts throwing a tantrum. And while being distracted from her temper tantrum, she gets rolled up and she gets pinned, just like she got quickly rolled up to lose the title on SmackDown. So it was cool to see a little bit of development in her character. Is this going to make her turn heel again? Is this going to make her turn on Becky going forward? Is this going to bring back, the heel character that she should be? It just adds a little bit more depth to Charlotte that we don't have at this point in time. Plus, now that we know that she's on Raw, she's not going to feud with Bayley anymore, so we got to see what's going to happen there. I like the fact that they kind of kept this as a continuing trend. So now this is the second time she got rolled up. She's not all there. How is she going to be able to collect her thoughts and recuperate from this? It's just, like I said, a small bit of character development that makes you interested in her more than just a win or loss could do. It's things like this, that little bit of storytelling that keeps you interested, or at least makes you interested in these superstars. Problem is, unfortunately, we've seen them two face off so many times. And I know they were in a jam, so I tried to give them, benefit of the doubt here with Sasha Banks being injured again, which is a terrible situation.
Oh, God, and then that happens. Like, what?
Yeah, bad timing, but having her be out. So I was like, but I just couldn't get into the match. The ending was good. It wasn't a bad match whatsoever. You knew Becky was going to win regardless, not only because she was the champion here, but also because Raw just seemingly always gets the first draft pick, it feels like. So
right.
Happened on SmackDown as well. I thought they'd switch it up. Not a chance here. But the ending was good. They had a good match with each other. I even liked the beat down beforehand when I saw that replayed later on in the night. Problem is, it's just been there, done that so many times. It's not memorable. Hopefully this is it, and they keep these two away from each other for a long time to come. But knowing that they're both 1 and 2 as far as leaders of the women's roster on the Raw side of things, I'm very worried that their paths are going to continually cross so long as either one is champion, and that's the troubling part. I foresee many more matches between these two, and no matter what they do, they could both be lit on fire, running at each other, downhill with swords in hand, and I don't think people are going to get into it. So,
yeah, this is just fucking. I mean, dude, I don't even know what happened tonight on this show. Like, this was so bad. I fell asleep 5 times.
I don't blame you. Andrade comes out. He's on Raw now because obviously his girl's on Raw. So Charlotte's on Raw, Andrade's going to follow. They did kind of make a sly comment, the weekend before the draft saying like, oh, we're not afraid to split up couples, but none of that happened at all. Andrade's there, so Zelina Vega goes with him. Aleister Black in tow as well because Charlotte's already there. So like they're all on Raw. Becky and Seth are on Raw. They really kept most of the couples together, and it's just Andrade comes out and Zelina's making this promo, but it wasn't good. And usually we can get something better from both of them, really. And unfortunately, even with the match with Ali, I feel like they didn't click. Either they didn't have enough time to get into it, but we start the match, when they come back from commercial, the match is already happening. So it wasn't even like, you saw a picture-in-picture. We missed the beginning, first few minutes of the match. And by the time we get into it, it's just, all right, he's going to hit his finisher, the hammerlock DDT there, and it's over. So,
well, it's just really all to reintroduce you to, Andrade, which I get, and it was all right, but it was nothing that I was going to like or care about, really. I guess it was for, like, maybe new viewers, but here's the other point about that. They keep saying, like, oh, they're reintroducing everyone for all these new Fox listeners and viewers. What new Fox listeners and viewers? 1 million left last week. They're down to 2.9. Probably next week they'll be down to 2.5, and then they'll be right back to the same fucking audience they have right now. That's exactly what's going to happen.
You're spot on,
What are they reintroducing, like, and even if there were 500,000 new viewers, you're reintroducing all these people for those people? What about the 2 million other people who are just watching the same shit again?
Exactly. The 500,000 you're hoping to keep, you're going to lose the other 2 million that you're trying so hard to hold on to.
339-226-6610. You can Skype me, Danny Deadly, DANNY, That's only to combat the Joe Cronin Show Skype because it gets so overwhelmed that I have that separate Skype that's a little tougher to find since it's not the name of the show. 585, those on the phone. What's up?
Joe, it's Tony. How you guys doing?
What's up, Tony Khan? Yes, hire me, please. I will help you out on Tuesday nights on that dark show.
Oh, God, though. I'm about to flip the fuck out, though, because tonight's Raw has fucking broke me.
It's broken a lot of people from what I can see. And shout out to all the people that got back in here after I fucked up on the stream. Thanks for coming back,
God,
everybody.
what the fuck was this dumpster fire of a bullshit show? It was a flaming pile of donkey shit. What the fuck was this?
They had it made with it being the draft. They could have done, like, this was the last night to have Raw and SmackDown people face each other, and they could have made all these like crazy matches and oh, well, this one's going to face this one because we haven't seen that before. And, they could have really tried some new things here. We get the same dribble bullshit. And then whatever, decisions they did make, it was insulting to the fans. The fans booed most of what they gave them. They booed Tyson Fury. They booed the Firefly Funhouse. They booed a lot of the finishes to the other matches. Like, it was a night of boos.
Oh, my God. The Vince McMahon and the whole creative team need to go jump and play in the fucking highway, jump off the Empire State Building, straight to their fucking death, onto a car, because of how bad this show was. I don't give a fuck. They're all cum-guzzling motherfuckers. That's how pissed I am on Raw. That's how pissed I am.
I like this guy. I mean, you have the energy that I don't have right now. This Raw didn't... People are expecting me like, here goes Joe, he's going to lose his mind. No, this is one of those shows where I don't lose my mind because it was that boring. It wasn't one of those shows where I was like, what the fuck are they doing? It's more one of those shows that like, wow, this is... I want to sleep right now. Like, I want to go to bed.
Save us, AEW. Save us, AEW. Oh my! The main roster sucks balls. Fuck this main roster. Fuck this draft. Fuck this bullshit. Fuck Vince McMahon. He can go straight to hell, jump and play in the fucking highway.
I got a shout out to Jay Tanner right now. Yeah, I hope Vince goes and plays in traffic. Jay Tanner, who made this. Thank you for the call, by the way. 585. That was pretty funny. Made these graphics, pretty cool little graphics here that he made.
That is awesome.
That's pretty cool. Thank you, man.
The AEW opening color, theme.
Yeah, I like the explosion dust.
And you said who made that?
Tanner. Somebody named Tanner.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Shout out to Tanner. That's badass. I can't even color in the line, so anytime I see anybody do anything, creative and artistic, I'm standing ovation.
You can see Tommy do something autistic every week. Hey, Triple M. I'm going to grab my coffee. It's done. Triple M, what's up?
Oh, I understand why I stopped watching now, dude. Like, nothing makes sense anymore. How many logic gaps are they going to put into the show? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of plot holes, bud. A lot of plot holes.
Vince is brain dead. Like, this guy's brain is literally fried. Do you not understand the wild card rule is gone? What are you doing?
And now they're going to say, well, WWE on Fox tweets out, as announced by Booker T on Raw tomorrow on the first, preview of WWE Backstage on Fox Sports 1, they're going to tell you about the blockbuster trade between Raw and SmackDown. So already they're trying to, right their wrongs per se, and it's just
stupid. And then they killed the Funhouse, the best thing on Raw. They're making Seth look more like a heel. Again, are they trying to make Seth hated? I thought Vince was trying to make Seth look cool. It doesn't make him look cool. It makes him look stupid.
Yeah. The whole thing is just, like you said, mind-boggling. First Randy, now Seth. I like what, people on Twitter were saying. It's like, you got to stop inviting people over.
And then I heard that the match is going to be at the Saudi show, and it's going to be a false count anywhere match. Watch the ending account out. them both on the ground or something, and then a dumb count out finish.
Oh yeah, so that no man can respond to the 10 count.
Yep, that's what's gonna happen. Calling right now. So I'm doing shit like that.
See, I wish when Seth came in tonight, I hate the idea. He shouldn't be in the funhouse. No one should be. People can get abducted into the funhouse. Like if Bray pulled him into the ring last week and supposedly drug him to hell, then he should appear in the funhouse, tied up or something like that. Yeah. He shouldn't be able to just to walk in. Maybe if they did a joke thing where like somebody rang the doorbell, but make it seem like an actual place you have to go to, not just a set on the stage lot. And worse than that is now you're destroying the whole thing. Why didn't you have him interact with the puppets trying to freak out about him burning the place? Or there's so much more they could have done with that. They took the.
Are we really talking about the puppets?
Yeah, the puppets. Obviously you saw Ramblin' Rabbit there before, and then all of a sudden they're just gone. He lights a table on fire and flips it, and that was it. That's the most you can do out of everything Bray's done with all the different puppet pals he has and the settings and the different areas. All you can do is light a table and flip it. That's your big moment. It looked so cheap and ostensibly foolish to do. It was just pathetic.
Don't forget, he said burn it down.
So you want to burn it down? I mean,
finish it.
He could have went in there and started soaking the puppets down with gasoline and cornered everybody, and the Fiend shows up and the Fiend actually steps forward and wrestles him down. The Fiend gets the lighter, the Zippo, out of Seth's hands and then stands on Seth, and the Fiend lights his own puppet pal friends on fire, like make him look even more deranged and crazy. Oh, the Fiend will save us, and then it makes him look even more sadistic because he saved no one. Like, just why? What do we get from him now? What are they going to do? Are they going to just be done with the Firefly Funhouse now? Is that it because it's burnt? Are they going to fix it? Are they going to remodel it? Are they going to? How much more? Those vignettes and promos were some of the best things about the show usually, and now we're not going to have them anymore. Or what
I don't
are they
even
going to do
care
to get themselves out of this?
I got to tell you, I don't even care. I don't like Bray Wyatt anymore. I don't.
Bray's
care.
irrelevant now. They've already ruined it for me.
Yeah,
I don't
like him.
Literally his second match, Hell in a Cell, his second fucking match, they ruined the entire magic that was the Fiend.
I don't like the Firefly. I'm being dead honest with you right now. I don't like the Firefly Funhouse anymore. I don't like the animals. I don't care about what Bray says. Yeah, I do not care. And then it got even worse when I saw Seth there, and he went, "Burn it down. Finish it. Feed me more puppets."
I gotta get back to work. I love the camera angle, Joe. Looking sexy. Love you guys.
Finish you.
Much love, buddy.
Finish it.
I wonder how many trades they're going to get. Is it just going to be one, 1-to-1? So if we get the Fiend, does it mean we get some? I don't know.
Dude, you know what I laughed at the other day was when I was thinking to myself, do you remember when the draft first came back and they brought back the whole thing and we were like, wow, they're going back to that. Let's see what's going to happen. And I was so excited that me and JD on out of nowhere, like, I don't know what episode it was, we did a mock draft. And we did a mock draft, and we were super dorks. Like, I would take this guy. Okay, now you take that guy. And we were being all crazy nerdy about it. And it was kind of fun to draft pick whoever and, like, what's going to happen. And I said to myself about this draft, I said, nobody's going to do that with this because they would be a loser. Because there's nothing to get excited about mock drafting, like, anymore at all. And I saw Steven Larson did it, and I was like... What a fucking lame fucking thing. And then we actually see the draft and look at what it is. It's not a draft. It's just a
It's not. No, Matt and I did like a mock draft for fun, like a bunch of nerds. And
losers.
You know what? It was 1,000 times more entertaining than this shit. I guarantee it.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. This was terrible.
We acted like a bunch of idiots, and him and I laughed more than... obviously I didn't laugh once tonight. I didn't enjoy myself at all tonight. So there's that. I'm just so disappointed. Bray, I I made that long rant and joke last time. It's like you get excited, you get hyped, you get let down, then you wait for the change to come, and it just repeats itself. And
I mean, anybody that said, I thought this draft was pretty bad. or I thought this draft was pretty good. Anybody who said that, you're an idiot. There was no draft. This wasn't a draft. This was just a fucking announcement of talent that we already knew about, and a couple people changed brands. That's all that happened. This wasn't a real draft. This wasn't a draft, you idiot. Like anybody out there that's like, oh my God, this was not that bad, you know. The show wasn't good, but the draft was kind of fun. What are you talking about? I mean, oh my God, there must be some real fucking young people watching this show to actually have anybody have liked this. I mean, this has really got to be one of the worst things that I've ever seen WWE do. This is really bad. I can't stress enough how bad this is. This is so bad.
Shit bum.
Imagine being able to get yourself over after being buried multiple times. To only get buried again when you are clearly the most over wrestler in the company. What the actual fuck? Also, SmackDown's roster is trash.
Thank you, Sasha's Mouthblood, for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. I'm starting to come to life. Is anybody sensing this in the chat right now that Joe is starting to come to life? Because for the last, I'm not kidding, it's 11:56. For the last 50 minutes, I was miserable sitting here like, I'm tired. Do you know when you like stay up one night by accident, but then you have to go to school and you're miserable? That's what I was like.
Raw sucks and Tommy is fat.
Yes,
Kill
he is.
me.
He is fat. PHAT fat, though, huh? Amelto, thanks for the $2 super chat party. Appreciate that, man. It's pretty good.
Not to mention, they have a steel cage match planned next week on Raw between the Fiend and Seth for the title. I think that's the dark match.
The draft was the only way Graves was gonna get his girl Carmella and her fine melons away.
Yeah.
From Grubby R-Truth.
Spaz Phoenix, they actually mentioned that on commentary, too. By the way, commentary sucks. Although, I will say, the Dio Madden is doing better. He actually kind of sounds like Excalibur a little bit when he's delivering exposition. I don't know if anybody picked up on that. You know, when Excalibur would like throw out these little things, like Dio Madden kind of sounded like him a bit in a way. You have to listen to it to kind of understand what I'm saying, but I caught that, and so I thought Madden was an okay like third guy in tonight. I think Jerry Lawler is still the best announcer because he's the most interesting. Like, I can't believe I'm saying that. He should be the worst, but he's the best because he's interesting and he's that familiar old voice.
Well, he made a lot of good like conjecture and solid points at times. He's like, I haven't been this excited since I was drafted in the NFL. And he's like, so he's been through the draft. So he offered a bit of insight at times, and like it lined up to make sense to what was going on in the moment. I don't want to sound like I'm piggybacking off of you, but Vic Joseph is just a waste.
Told you. Not you. Yeah, but I told everybody that Vic Joseph was a Michael Cole fucking robot. Nobody believed me.
At least Michael Cole gets you know, I'm trying to think of the right wording here, but he gets amped up at times. You know, he does have a little bit of emotion.
Yep.
I didn't get any of that from Vic Joseph tonight. I didn't have him, you know, convey anything that was even close to an emotion besides monotone. And loud does not mean emotional. You know, that loud doesn't share your thoughts and feelings. He would get louder and softer, but just because I'm getting louder doesn't make it more impactful. There's a difference between just getting louder or, you know, getting excited or getting scared
sound
or
like he's
depressed. You know, he showed no emotion at all. He would just elevate and decrease his volume in his voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, okay,
Yep.
so the volume levels shift, but you're still not bringing anything worthwhile to the moment.
He sounds like a robot. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He always sounds like there's always a monotone to that excitement. Like if he's yelling like, "Oh my God, King!" or "Oh my God, this," and then he goes, "Well, we know that the matchup is happening next week." It always sounds like the same robotic thing, no matter what. And I don't know, man. I know there's a lot of people out there that were giving me shit last year, or what was it, 2 years ago? A couple of years ago when they hired Vic Joseph over me, and I came on here and I said, WWE just hired some boring fucking goddamn Frankenstein over me, and I'm leaving Florida. Like, it's like when that was actually more years ago than that, but when I said that, people were like, you're just fucking so salty, it's almost unbelievable. And I said, no, because if somebody is better than me, I'm not salty anymore. Like, if the guys from Reality of Wrestling were hired by WWE, and like, I was down in Florida, and I was put on the microphone, and the guys from Reality of Wrestling were hired, and they said, sorry, Joe, we decided to go with these two guys over you, but better luck, next time, whatever they said to me. I would have said, damn, yeah, those guys are damn good. I guess I can see how that happened. Oh, well, thank you, and I'll try to get better, and I'll come back again someday.
Joe, we went with Mauro Ranallo. I'm
Mauro
sorry,
Ranallo. I lost to Mauro. I lost to the fucking Reality of Wrestling guys. Maybe a couple other guys that I think are good out there too. But to look at that guy, Vic Joseph, and see what he was doing, and for him to get hired,
it makes you feel so defeated. I can only imagine.
I wanted to I want to choke myself live on YouTube. I want to choke myself live on YouTube in front of everybody with a WWE shirt on. That's what I want to do. With a friggin' WWE shirt.
Hey, it's ready for the draft. I'm ready. Five-time.
Sorry, Booker, calm down, Booker.
Samoa Joe, his injury might be the reason as to why he fell to the 5th round. Okay, at least you're trying to formulate an opinion on why things are happening. So you're adding something to the conversation.
Right.
But my God, Vic Joseph and then Jerry Lawler. I love the King, Attitude Era style, but this team needs some work. It needs some work.
Oh my God, eat shit and die, Vic Joseph. What?
When you're screaming, does Raw have the #1 draft pick of the night? Over and over and over for the first match. Like that doesn't make you excited to see the outcome. It doesn't makes you want to either hit mute or change the channel.
I got to go to Couch Collectibles in the chat, said surprise Viking Raiders name drop Ring of Honor. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. They name dropped Ring of Honor. They name dropped New Japan, so that was...
they said they were the IWGP Tag Champs, Ring of Honor Tag Champs, NXT Tag Champs. I mean, they went through a lot of it.
We were also the freaking War fucking machine, which was way better, but whatever.
Joker Jack on on Twitter said, scripted commentary, the cameramen are on cocaine. What about Raw has changed? They only robbed a skate park for their stage. Yeah,
they robbed the skate park and then bedazzled it with Amazon LED lights. Let's take another phone call, people. Yeah, we have. I do have donations I'm going to play. I'm sorry about that. If you can donate, I'm still taking them. I will still play your donations, your comments, whatever you want to say. The top donator right now, taking home that JCS Digital Championship, is DC Derek right now at $10. Let's go to the phones right now. The coffee's kicking in, baby. The coffee's kicking in, baby. Woo! 4112 is on the phone. 412, rather. 412, hello.
Woo, Joe. Fuck yeah. Horrible Raw, great show tonight. But realistically, I'm thinking about it. When will most superstars in WWE, when will their contracts be up? Because I cannot fucking see anybody re-signing with this shit company.
Well, WWE was really smart. Before anybody got too excited about AEW or they were able to launch, we all know, and you know, that WWE offered people 3-year and 5-year contracts. Lots of 5-year contracts were handed out by WWE, and I can't believe that wrestlers were this dumb. Because, even let's go to my buddy Mike Kanellis, asking for his release today. But we literally sat here and said, what is he doing? He must be doing it for his family and his kids, because why would he sign a 5-year deal with this fucking company right now? And what they do is they say, listen, we see a lot of things in your future here at WWE. There's so much. We haven't even gotten to where we're going to be with you yet at all. So we want to get there. And, here's a commitment contract.
He was one of the most underrated talents today. He said Mike Kanellis is one of the most underrated talents. And Mike said in his statement that he put out on Twitter, talking about how, he spent 5 years just drugged up, and now that he's sober, he spent the last 3 years doing nothing, wrestling or being a part of something maybe once a week. He doesn't want to sit home and just collect a paycheck, trying to teach his daughter, you got to work hard for it, when he's not doing that himself. But he did admit that the only reason he signed this contract was because of the financial stability. and he knew that it was good for his family at that point in time. But now he's asking for his release. Well, guess what, Mike? You signed for 5 years back in June. You're 3 months into a 5-year contract. So.
And what happens to Maria?
Yeah, she said she wanted to retire after this was finished in WWE. So I don't imagine she can leave as well.
So she's going to stay there pregnant.
I realized, Ty Dillinger had gotten his release, but he was the last one that would be released in that sense. Because anybody that's asked after him, once AEW was finally, acknowledged as an actual functioning wrestling, company, no one is going to get released without there being some sort of, issue at hand. Unless your contract is run out and you didn't renew it, and they're not tacking on more time, and you're not getting out of there any other way unless you do your time. It's like jail, basically. So you're gonna have to. There is no parole.
Yeah, they feed these wrestlers a bunch of corporate bullshit, like, oh, we have so many plans for you guys over the next few years, and they wind up not doing shit. So, like, my next question is, so if you were like a Mike Kanellis and you said, fuck this, I don't care if I sign for 5 years, fuck this, I'm breaching the contract, like, what happens? Will he go to jail? I mean, like, what the fuck? What can they really do to you?
You'll be sued. You'll lose all your money.
Because they give you a certain amount of the money for signing a contract. Usually it's a bonus up front.
Yeah.
And you'll have to pay that back. And then sometimes they can make you pay more than what the contract's worth for violating the terms. And
yeah, no, you can't take income from another company then. You're in a contract. So that company is now liable for paying you. So now,
my God.
Yeah, so that company can't pay you now. It's the same way with, like, in sports. If you're assigned to a team or something like that, and another team was to talk to you, it's considered tampering. It's kind of the same sort of thing. So they could sue the other company. The other company actually can't offer you a contract unless they want to be sued. Then you'll be sued. Then you'll lose the money you made from the other company because you're in breach of contract. Then you'll have penalties to pay for that. Yeah, dude, it is. You just basically can't do it. It's impossible.
I've been a WWF fan, WWE fan since fucking 1997, and I've never once wanted the company to die. But I can honestly now say, after tonight's Raw, I want the WWE to fucking die. Vince, I want him to die. There's got to be a huge change. Dude, like watching SmackDown on Fox with the fucking quote-unquote war room with a bunch of Fox executives, USA executives, why didn't they have the wrestlers' reactions? Do you remember, like, when the Dudley Boys got split up during a draft, seeing Bubba Ray and Devon's face and shit? That was, like, part of the fun.
Let me defend that. I agree with you that was definitely a funner time. That was more fun.
Yeah, they didn't split anybody.
I like the idea of the executives picking, because they kind of are. That's sort of believable that the USA Network would want certain people, and the Raw and the Fox Network would want certain people. I like the idea of it, and I kind of like the War Room last week. I said it was pretty cool that they did that, but the problem is all these picks almost don't matter, and they're just picking the same people. So like, the idea was nice, but it is awfully executed, and the
only people they split up is R-Truth and Carmella.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Great.
It's a waste, dude. And they take fucking Akira Tozawa, which is what JD Venom said to me on Twitter. They take Akira Tozawa, a guy who was on a 205 Live failing brand that's gone now, over Baron Corbin, a guy who's won matches and become a King of the Ring recently. So that means you're telling me Akira Tozawa, I guess, was more of a prospect than Baron Corbin, I guess. Like, some other people had some ridiculous ones where they were like, somebody said, "You're kidding me. They're taking, they're taking shit. They're taking Jinder Mahal over Cesaro." Well, I disagree with him. Jinder Mahal is a former WWE World Champion. Yeah, you might think Cesaro is a much better wrestler, but in kayfabe country, honestly, no. Yeah, they would take Jinder Mahal. He's a former WWE Champion over Cesaro, who has never won a title like that. So I don't have a complaint about that. But I do wonder about the Akira Tozawa versus Baron Corbin pick. That's weird.
Yeah, that is extremely troubling. And I mean, like we said, so between shitty picks, people not going anywhere really, I mean, most of it is just people. It was all predictable. We didn't see. It would have been cool to have a Universal title and the WWE title switch shows, you show things, at least make some things mean something. And then I was going to say before too, like, you know, the commentary is all over the place. I don't know which person on commentary said it, but they're like, the Kabuki Warriors are out there, and they're like, oh, I you know, it's like Japanese anime. I can't read it without the subs because you can't understand what they're saying. You know, that's your biggest joke of the night. That's them trying to be funny, basically insulting people's native language.
Commentary was
You know,
horrible
like,
tonight. Horrible commentary tonight.
And I'm not being SJW being like, oh, you can't insult it. No, but that's their attempt at humor. I'm saying it just sucks. It's not funny. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm not saying, oh, it's insulting. No, I'm saying it's insulting because it's not funny. Nothing they do here is humorous. I miss the day where you would hear something, you'd be like, oh, God, you know, and you chuckle to yourself. Or their big thing right now with this Bray feud, you know, you got Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins advertised for a cage match next week for the dark match, just to keep people to stay for the entire show.
Right. And they would have
you go back
good.
and watch the beginning of Raw tonight. Okay, just go back and watch the beginning of Raw. They show the commentators. Dio fucking Madden has his back almost completely turned to the camera as he's looking at Vampire Vic in the eyes, about to turn to stone like some fucking Medusa shit. It's horrible, man. And then Lawler will throw out these like jokes, horrible one-liners from the goddamn 50s. And I mean, at least they could do is respond or react to it or give some kind of interest to it.
Ugh.
They just don't even fucking say anything.
Honestly,
it's so
dude,
awkward.
they should be burying. Lawler should be getting kind of made fun of. Lawler should be playing the Michael Scott character. Like Lawler's like, man, I've seen you know, she got $1 million body but a 10-cent face or something like that. Or like when he's saying something like goofy like that, you know, they should be like, Jerry, do you think anybody in the audience knows what the hell that is? Well, you know,
take your fucking pills, Jerry.
Yeah, take a pill, Jerry. Like, that could be funny. Like, that could be really funny, but they don't do that. They literally have him there to relate to the older audience so that the older audience can go, oh, that's the old Jerry, and I'm an old person, and I remember those type of jokes in wrestling.
And what about this, too? I mean, DJ Rand also let me know, you know, Lacey Evans was drafted in the third round to SmackDown.
To SmackDown, what's she doing on Raw?
So why?
My God.
Why is she on Raw tonight? You know, Natalya, it says right here, Lacey Evans to SmackDown, Alexa Bliss to Raw, Revival to SmackDown, Natalya to Raw. So if Lacey Evans is on SmackDown, Kevin Owens went to Raw, why are her and Natalya teaming up if there's no more wild card rule?
After they just had a fucking feud. And not only that, during that feud last week, during that big last woman standing match, they made reference to, well, she may never have to look at her again if she goes to SmackDown. What the fuck is going on in this company?
Natalya fucking powerbombed her off the goddamn stage, and they're partners the next fucking week. Kill me. Kill me.
I would have rather gone with like them hugging at the end, they lost or whatever, and then Lacey fucking stabs her in the back, puts a fucking steel chair on her ankle, and jumps off the top rope and smashes her ankle into pieces, and they go with the whole like fucking, she smashed her ankle into pieces, and that's how she leaves. That's how Lacey Evans leaves Raw. The last thing she did was break Cat Piss Lady's ankle, and now she's on SmackDown with heat from that. Why the fuck is she going to have any heat or anything from what they just did tonight? Are they making her a face? And if so, what the fuck? Why?
I'm convinced that all of WWE is being written by fucking 20-year-old SJWs who have never seen the product before. Because, like, there's no way Vince can be greenlighting all of this. And if he is, he has to have dementia or Alzheimer's or something.
He's just that out of touch, it seems.
It's been so bad. It's been so bad for months. It's like what Jake said. Yeah, they get really shitty. Everybody gets pissed off. And then they hype this big change, this new era. Yep. And it's a fucking letdown every time. I'm done with this company. I'm also done with this phone call. Thanks for having me, guys. This is Paul 3 in the chat. Once again, great show.
Thanks,
Paul,
man.
Thank you so much. Great call.
And you know what? I'm mad about everything, by the way. I'm mad about all wrestling right now. I just want to take a quick step back and say this real quick before I give it back to Jake and we take some donations. I don't think any wrestling is good right now. Everybody is like, wow, this is the best time in wrestling ever. This is so great. This is the best time in wrestling. No, it's not. There's 2.5 million people watching regularly. That's it. That's the max. Yeah, okay, SmackDown the other day we had a 3.9. Yeah, and on the Raw 20 we had a 4. But when it comes down to the actual viewership, I'll give you even 3. I'll give you maybe 3 million potential wrestling fans out there. I'll say 3 million people might tune into something out there, in America at least. But here's the thing, it's not a great time. A great time was when there used to be 7 million people watching. A great time was when there was 11 million people watching, and WCW and WWF fought over those people, and then ECW was still able to have a little successful show. Now, guys, the fucking territories are back. Do you not understand that? The fucking territories are back. There is a huge, huge supply of wrestling right now with a small amount of demand. There's a small demand that turned into a large demand in a way. It's very strange to think about because in the 90s, there was a huge demand for wrestling in the 90s, yet there was a small supply as far as choice, right? There was WCW, WWE, and then maybe you leaped over to ECW. That was about it. But yet there was 11 million people watching. Now, there's about 3 million people watching. But there's, my God, WWE, Ring of Honor, fucking TNA Impact, AEW now, the NXT product that the WWE puts out, and then New Japan, and now NWA, tomorrow night, NWA, guys. And then hundreds of other companies, like the company Title Match Wrestling Network, where you guys can go and watch all of these other fucking iPay-per-views that I have a deal with them. And if you use coupon code Cronin, you get 50% off. And here's the thing, people do buy these. Lots of people buy these things. And that's the craziest thing to me, is despite the fact that supply and demand is completely different than it was. Right now, there is a large, large, large supply. But there's also large accessibility. There wasn't this accessibility in the 90s, and that's what's different. If this was 1998 and you could do this, it would be incredible. Look at Title Match Wrestling right now. If I go to their fucking their companies, they're carrying every pay-per-view from all of these companies. And I love watching these things. I know a lot of you guys do too, because you guys told me that you signed up using my code. You got RF video with all these shoot interviews. I mean, there's so many fucking things. Southern States Wrestling, Fest Wrestling, Bombshells, Ladies of Wrestling. People even like watching just the Ladies of Wrestling stuff. Wrestle Pro. So much stuff on Wrestle Pro. That company's unbelievable. 49 videos for you. It's $5 a month with my coupon code. Chaotic Wrestling.
There.
Bar Wrestling. Vanguard Championship Wrestling. Defy. IWA. Fucking 3PW Pro Wrestling Network, and the list goes on and on and on. High Spots, fucking Ohio Wrestling Network, holy shit, ZZW, fucking Reality of Wrestling. I can't tell you how much, guys. If you watch one of these companies, Reality of Wrestling is fucking awesome. I was on their stream the other day. It was a lot of fun. UWA Elite, ESW, fucking just, it goes on and on and on. We can keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And you can watch all of their pay-per-views, all of their content, including live streams on TitleMatchWrestlingNetwork.com. And if you use coupon code Cronin, you're going to get 50% off for 3 months. That's $5 a month for 3 months. And the minute you get on there, I mean, whatever, record the program, save them for your own self, whatever.
Cheaper
watch all these different things. Yeah, it's cheaper than Netflix. But if you love wrestling and you love consuming this new wrestling that's out there, holy shit, dude. All of it's on there. It's insane. It could be the next big promotion that happens. Yeah, but my point wasn't to plug that, really, but I figured I should since I'm on that wavelength right now anyway. But the point is, it really feels like the territories are back in a way. They are. It's like they're back, man. The territories are really back because of the internet. And because the demand for wrestling is so... It's come down. The amount of people watching wrestling is way down, but the demand for good wrestling is way up. And it's a conundrum out there. I'm just working this out of my own brain right now in front of all you guys. And there's probably some of you sitting there thinking, Joe, you missed this or you missed that, or you're not thinking of this or that. I don't know. But there's so many of these damn things. But CKY in the chat says he got it just for CZW. Thanks, man. But make sure you use my coupon code Cronin, okay?
Yeah, CZW alone has some stuff on there that is like, holy Christ, I haven't seen some of this stuff in ages, and some of the new stuff is
real quick too.
Nuts.
One thing else to tell you guys, I'm actually calling wrestling for 3 different companies that are on there. Okay, so in November and in December, they're coming out with iPay-per-views that I called, so you'll be able to watch those as well. Plus, coming up soon, I'll be doing another show soon from, I think it's New York, and I'll let you know which one it is and who it is, and they're going to be streaming it live on there, and I'll be there doing commentary actually live, so that will be fun. And I get to do, by the way, I get to do like an intro and, all that stuff, so I get to kind of introduce some matches. I'll be doing the intro, and they're going to be it's going to be live. It's going to be broadcast live on there. So it's a great service. It's only $5 a month for you guys, 2 weeks free. And if you sign up tonight, it's 50% off 3 months. $5 a month. You can't beat that. All right, I'm done promoting it, but I had to promote something, and I'm friends with the guy. And you guys know wrestlers all around the world who have promoted it. TitleMatchWrestlingNetwork.com. You may know them from Title Match Wrestling on YouTube. Their YouTube channel has been really done well also. And I have a commercial coming out for it to make it all easier so I don't have to sit here trying to sift through it for you again. That's going to be nice and cleaned up. Real quick, Jake, go into what your next point is real quick, and then we'll play some of these donations here.
My good buddy Jay Zombie on Twitter was talking to me, and he made a great point. He's like, in between the matches, you get these stupid matches. You get, the one Wall Street analyst guy for, and ESPN, the Today Show is on there.
I got the crayon, Jake. I got the crayon, Jake.
I got the crayon. Now it's a party. Now you're up. They had the Weekend Update guys that were at Michael Che and the other one, Colin Jost or whatever from SNL. They have all these little features in between, and I hate how WWE has this constant super Viagra styled hard on for outside media attention. They want so desperately to notice me ESPN, notice us. Reminds me of Tommy and Keemstar. Really, it reeks of desperation.
I've done a little begging for commentary. Myself. I'm a bit of a scumbag.
Done a little begging, but this is above and beyond.
Well, Cody Rhodes did tell me that's how you do it in wrestling. You got to stick up for yourself.
He said, yeah, you got to believe in yourself and promote yourself. But there's a difference between believing and promoting, and this is like outright begging. Like they are out there catering to every person they can to the point where they have no spine left. I mean, look at how many in between vignette moments that we had tonight. So rather than having a chance to talk to the talent and, you were just drafted to Raw, what are your plans for the future? Or let's even go to the War Room and hear their thoughts. No, we got to hear about Jim Cramer, and what he thinks, or the Weekend Update guys, or everybody from the Today Show.
Oh, they suck too.
And they're so just awkward. They're out of their realm. They're not, part of it. So we have the NHL and NBC studio team. The NHL guys, I believe, were the ones recently making fun of the fact that, that was the Fox guys. Excuse me. The NHL team still they were awkward, but it was the Fox Sports guy that were complaining that they had Braun Strowman and other wrestlers like Rey Mysterio coming to join them for analyst spots, and it's like. But WWE is going to have you on anyways because they want to go ahead and try and saturate every other and work their way into every other market they can. It's aggravating and it's annoying and it just looks tacky. And the thing is, it doesn't help the wrestling fans at all. There's no one that isn't already watching Raw is going to tune in because the Weekend Update guys are on, or because. I love the NHL, so I'm going to tune in because the NHL on NBC guys are on. No one's going to, there's no cross promotion there. Now, if you advertise on the NHL game or Weekend Update, or maybe you'll get some people that aren't watching or people that used to be fans that come back, but having them on the show itself does nothing but agitate your faithful and loyal audience. So
they're alienating. They're alienating the real fans of the product.
Yes, absolutely. You're pushing people away, and it's just it really is insulting.
It's a secondary feeling. You feel secondary, like they're not here. It's what Cody Rhodes said on the interview when he was on the show last week with us, or with me. I keep thinking you were there for some reason. It's like the fans want something you're not giving them, and they're not listening at all. In fact, they're listening less.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't.
And the fans have been so vocal too.
When they listen, they fuck it up too. That's the problem. Is when they listen, they do it wrong. So what happens is all these other fans who actually love WWE and don't even have a problem with any of this, they hear us complaining and they're like, "Oh, would you stop complaining? Just love WWE. I love WWE." All right. So then you complain. Then WWE actually tries to do what you were complaining about. And they do it horribly, and then you complain because you're like, what the fuck are they doing? And then those other fans who don't know anything, they're just, I call them like the zombie casual fans. Like they're the ones on Twitter that just freak out and they just, I love WWE, I love it all. But they're like retarded almost.
And they're barely watching themselves.
Yeah, but they are. There's something usually wrong with them, like mentally. I'm not trying to be mean. There's a lot of people out there. I don't know what it is. They're like, I love WWE. But no, so they'll be like, see, you're never happy. Like, I wish they'd stop listening to these people. And they have a point because they keep listening to people and then they make it worse because they just can't get anything right. It's almost unbelievable. They can't get anything right. And I'm sorry to that caller. I will take your call next time you call.
I know
do
they
super chat.
Take certain people's opinions too, but
oh yeah.
This show was Enza's score transcripts out of 10.
Enzo's court transcripts out of 10. Spaz Phoenix, thank you for the $2 Canadian. I'm going to let a couple more of these play because we are, we're a little bit behind. Let me let these donations play. I'm sorry. Jake, you did a great job, man, holding this show together for the first 40 minutes because I was out. Everybody who's watching this review, I was out the first 40 minutes of this fucking thing.
I'm here for, baby. It takes a while to come alive sometimes. When they hit you over the head so many times, how can you not be concussed?
This coffee brought me back to life, and I got to thank Leah.
Goodness.
She cleaned the coffee pot, and I went, all right. And I made coffee, and I'm feeling a whole hell of a lot better than I was before, I'll tell you that. How about the Hardy Boy, real quick before the next donation plays, or maybe it will play. Oh, there it is.
Super Chat Party.
The new leaked Sonic film look was better than Raw.
Oh, Miles, I bet, because they fixed it. They were like, we'll fix Sonic, and they made Sonic look a hell of a lot better. And I've said this. I think this movie's going to make a lot of money because they created so much buzz about it because of the ugly Sonic and then fixing it, and it's so weird, and Jim Carrey's in it. But real quick, Jake, what did you think of Rebby Hardy and Beth Hardy fucking going at it on Twitter? What a mess.
Yeah, I wasn't aware until I saw your, upload earlier today, and you were right. It just, unfortunately, with them being neighbors, you would hope that they would be able to keep it private, but it seems like Jeff's wife kind of went off the deep end at first, and Rebby had every right to respond. I mean, Matt can say what he wants. Not only is it his brother and his family, but this is a public situation.
Yeah.
This is something that requires attention. And to be acknowledged. And Matt made some very great points.
No more truth in Carmella pairing. I am not crying, you're crying.
Yeah. They were a little fun for a second. They were fun, But it's something that was a little fun for a little while that I'll never remember. You know why, society? Like, I pretty much won't really remember them that much. I'll remember Sensational Sherry and Macho Man. I'll remember Sensational Sherry and Shawn Michaels. I'll remember Marlena and Goldust.
Goldust, yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
Not going to remember them.
Here's the thing, though. I guess Carmella has some plans going forward, with creative.
Ooh.
So Carmella is supposed to be being utilized by creative. We'll see what happens, but they want to push her because of Total Divas.
They were wearing the same clothes from Friday. Face with tears of joy. Face with tears of joy.
Yeah, that was funny. They clearly filmed all the War Room stuff on the same day. Mr. Powers, thank you. Very...
A little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah.
Some bubbly. A little bit of the bubbly.
Yes,
bubbly.
baby.
Best creative idea all month. Lacey and Natty. Sign of the horns.
Yo, Too Sweet. Thank you, Too Sweet, for that donation. I was listening to Chris Jericho interviews earlier, and I was like, man, we got to get Jericho on the show. So I was tweeting him like, come on, Jericho, let's do this, man. Stop by next time, or I'll come out to you. I'll fly to wherever Jericho is. I'll suck every last drop. I'm Jim Cornette. Too Sweet, thank you for the the $3 from Too Sweet 19. Still the top donator, I believe, is DC Derek with $10. Largest donation in the stream. He could take home the digital JCS championship for October 15th, 2019. Kabini Gaming just subscribed. What up, Kabini? Thank you so much. Welcome to the Joe Cronin Show. We're live after every single WWE event, including AEW.
I give them credit, too, for letting Ivar and Eric cut that promo after they won the tag titles, where they, mentioned WWE, IWGP, Ring of Honor, NXT, all that. So that was a cool moment. Like I said, them winning the titles and their promo afterwards was the highlight of the night for me, for sure.
A little rushed with them winning. It's weird. It's like I don't know. I mean, they really should have. They did all this squashing. My T Wog, thanks for subbing. They did all this squashing. Then they should have had a really good rivalry with someone to win the belts. But instead, it was just, here's all this squashing. Now you sort of look bad, but then you just win the titles.
Yeah, that kind of seems to be their
what the fuck
reason.
But whatever. It was the best thing on Raw.
Monday night football game was cheated.
Really? I didn't see the end of the game. I actually left when the Packers, it was like 16-10 or something, and I had left around then, and I planned on going back to watch the rest of the game later. And I don't even watch that much football besides my own team, but I figured I'd watch a little bit of it, and wow.
Yeah, it ended 23-22. So
what?
Green Bay won by 1 point over the Lions.
I gotta see this. Apparently people are pissed. Well, I'm sure Green Bay fans are not pissed. But.
Yeah, because at the half it was 13-10, and the Lions were up by 3. So, that's where I left off.
A lot of respect for those teams, man. Detroit's coming back a little bit. Green Bay's great. Aaron Rodgers is great, and besides Brady, man, Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees.
I figured the Cowboys would have had an easy day yesterday.
Cowboys are done after that. Ugh.
That one guy at the start of the show in the draft room was looking at a laptop with a peacock screensaver on it like WTF, haha.
Well, they got Charlotte is what happened. He was like, look, we got Charlotte. That's what they were freaking out about, a peacock. It was Charlotte. I'm so old school. Thank you so much for that donation, man. All right, I know there's so many phone calls. The phone lines are still rocking and reeling and raving and raging, and I almost want to say raping just because that's funny. 201, what's up?
Joe, Jake, what's going on, guys? The blind guy from New Jersey calling in.
What's up, baby?
What's going on?
Good, man. Haven't called in a while, so showing you guys love again. Now, let me get something off my chest here, Joe, if you could permit me the time, my brother.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks. So I did not tune into Raw. Instead, I decided to watch the football game, and I also tuned into this morning's New Japan event. By the way, I encourage everyone, if you want a different breed of wrestling, if you want to really watch good in-ring quality and even, I dare say, acts of showing respect, showmanship, I encourage you guys to subscribe to NJPW World.
What do you think about Dean?
It's a great time.
What do you think about Moxley? They stripped him of the U.S. belt. What do you think about that?
It's kind of odd. That did strike me odd somewhat, but I chopped it up to this. He was going to be on his way out anyway, and I believe he would have had more responsibilities in AEW anyways.
Yep.
But they had planned it with him having more responsibility. I'm sorry, but that was such bullshit because he was supposed to face what, Juice Robinson?
Juice Robinson, yeah.
And because of travel delays, they strip him of the title. I mean,
yeah, I found that to be weird.
I mean, there was a goddamn typhoon,
Yeah,
I mean, Moxley and Robinson 3, this was going to be no DQ. They've had months of storyline building this up, and I know there's all right, there were Typhoon, what is it, Hagibis, if I'm saying it right. So, all right, they have that policy that champions who can't make scheduled title defenses must relinquish them, but it's not like he was hung over and, decided not to show up, so...
Well, I think he could have gotten there by Saturday. He could have probably taken some kind of flight, and we don't know exactly what happened either. We might have, they might have clearly said, he might have told them clearly, like, listen, I'm done after this. I'll drop the belt, make the guy look good, whatever. I'm out of here. And so maybe they just figured, well, let's just, let's not even have him then.
He has a contract until after Wrestle Kingdom 14.
Wrestle Kingdom, yeah.
Well, that's retarded then. I mean, come on. I mean, and by the way,
and that's what, January 2nd or 3rd, something like that. So
he's got more than enough January time. 4th.
Okay, so yeah, he's got more than enough time that they could have scheduled this match. They should have just delayed it. I know they did mention that there was somebody else that had the flu I think
Well, we thought
was
Jericho was going to
McAfee.
show up too. This kind of told us that, well, now Jericho's not going to show up and attack. Who did we think Jericho was going to attack? I can't even remember now. I keep wanting to say Kabushi, and it's not Habushi or anybody like that.
No, it's not. It's not Coda.
It's not Coda. It's
Coda. I want to say it was Tanahashi.
Might have been Tanahashi. I think it was Tanahashi. Yeah, yeah. So like something like that. Well, that's we were like, well, that's not going to happen now. Maybe they'll get Moxley and Jericho against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps
at Kingdom. Anyway, go ahead. You had thoughts on this, and I interrupted you with the Moxley stuff.
No, that's okay, man. That's okay. We're here to chop it up, right? So
yeah.
But either way, I mean, with all of that Moxley stuff, it's still a great time. I mean, you're guaranteed a couple of great quality matches, no matter what event you sit through with those guys. But with that said, like, you were also plugging title match wrestling, and by the way, I'm loving the content on there, Joe. So thank you so much for that, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
But all this, I'm leading to this. Now, a couple of years ago, I went to a Ring of Honor event. It was their 10th anniversary show in New York. And back when he was Kevin Steen, he cut a promo. Now, it might be irrelevant at this point, given the fact that he's now employed by WWE, but what he said still holds relevant to this day. And one thing that he said during this promo that he cut, he said, "You guys chant for your CM Punks. You guys chant yes, 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 and get behind people like Daniel Bryan and so on and so forth. But you guys don't understand that they don't give a damn about you." And he was talking about WWE clearly at this point. And he then said, "It's like you guys are in an abusive relationship. Y'all keep coming back for more."
Yeah, it's very strange. I mean, and part of me, I almost like it in a way that you guys come back, because, to be honest, it gives me more stuff to talk about. If all of you guys left WWE and stopped watching, I've already seen my numbers go down a little bit. Now they're back up on the rise because we've got new subs and all these things. But my numbers were starting to drop. I saw it happening. And it was because those were actual people that were like, "Joe, I'm sorry, I don't even watch at all anymore, so I don't even watch your reviews. I just watch Corrupted Nation, or like when you do Throwdown or Monetize This or your Patreon. I do all that stuff, but I don't even watch Raw and SmackDown." There's a whole crew of people that are like that, but there's still all these people that hate it so much, but they're still here. And you're right, those people hanging on. It's, I mean,
and honest to God, Joe, look, man, I tune into this show like I've repeated several times. I love your damn show, and that to say, I most of the time don't watch shit when it comes to the main roster, bro. I don't, because it doesn't interest me. I'm not gonna be that guy that's gonna show them that I'm fucking interested. Now, obviously, to hear you rant, to hear Jake's opinion on shit, yes, that does interest me, because y'all are smart, intelligent people that know what the fuck y'all talking about. However, I cannot sit here and say that I have sympathy for a dude like Kanellis. You made your bed, bruh. Now you're going to sleep on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people, look, man, look at the Revival.
Yeah.
They holding, they waiting. I'm going to get out of this bitch.
Yeah, they're out. But dude, we thought that about them too.
They're playing it smart, bro.
I think they are playing it smart, I think. But we also thought this about, like, Sasha. We thought this about Mike Kanellis. We thought this about Kevin Owens. All three of them.
That's a good point.
And they all signed. Point. Yeah, they all signed. We went, what the hell?
About the OC, Joe.
Yeah, oh my God, dude. Like, oh yeah, all these guys.
Yeah, because, AJ went at bat for them. Oh, if like,
well, AJ wants to stay there because AJ is ready to cruise control. AJ's a star to WWE, so he's not like Mike Kanellis. He's like, well, listen, they will treat me like a star, and they'll give me more if I want it. But I can also cruise control through the next few years and get paid, and then I can retire, maybe make some indie appearances in my retirement, and that's it. And so I understand why AJ's staying. And I think because AJ has that leverage, he got that leverage for the OC guys. And so it's worth it to them to stay, I suppose. And so they're different. That's a different situation. They're completely overpaid for what they do in WWE, which is fine because good for them. But
yeah. But you know, Joe. Look, man, I understand why you watch it. I understand why people like you, Jake, watch it, and anybody else who does a podcast wrestling related. I get it, you know. But look, I think us as the people, I think we do have a say. I think we do have power. I think we could drop kick these motherfuckers in their pockets and hurt them. Look, sure, they're getting that dirty Saudi money. Sure, they're getting this big-time deal when it comes to Fox. I get it. But, yo, we got to start putting our foot down and stop feeding into the bullshit. If we say we're going to cancel the network, let's commit to it. If we say we done with this shit, let's be done with it. You know what I'm saying? What do you do with a hairy pussy? You don't fuck it back again. At least I don't. You know,
yeah, man.
At least I don't.
No, I
Fuck
agree,
that
man.
shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't eating you out anymore, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
You say that day's over.
Yeah, man. People need to do what they feel. They need to stop being fake outraged.
There's other shit out there, bro. There's other stuff out there and superior shit, man. Superior shit. So let's stop. Let's quit it. Let's stop buying their tickets. Let's stop it.
What?
And that's all I really want to get off my chest, Joe. Really, man. And I want everyone to share the message. Hashtag these motherfuckers. Let them know. Quit the bullshit. We out. Hashtag that bitch. Let's go on Twitter. Let's start a fucking war, a real war, because let's let them know. Let's tell these motherfuckers enough is enough. We putting our foot down. You don't control us.
Well, they really don't, but people let them do it, and it is what it is. Listen, thank you for the call. I would say that, and if you're someone that loves WWE, like I love WWE, I do. I don't love this WWE, but if you're somebody who loved or loves WWE so much, but you hate this, like me, I would say that, you don't necessarily need to hate on them and be like, yo, I'm canceling, die, everything. All you have to do is just don't really watch it or choose one show to watch. Decide I'm going to not watch Raw anymore. I'm going to watch SmackDown only. If you want to cancel things, go ahead and do it. But instead of that, just go find something you do love and talk about that instead. If you love NWA,
still find something that you're passionate about. I mean, don't force yourself to do this if you're not passionate.
By the way, NWA Power, what's that up to? I'm about to go look right now because I'll tell you what, NWA Power, last I checked, had 700,000 views. And by the way, someone said, Joe, you should have gotten in on that. I did. I was DMing with Dave Lagana. I was talking to those guys as much as possible. They already had things picked out. But I was
early on too.
I was reaching out to them a long time ago. I knew this was going to be awesome, and it was awesome. And dude, well, actually, it says I thought they were at 700,000 views. I guess I'm wrong. They were at 300,000 views a few days ago. Now they're at 410,000 views. So I actually thought they were going to be at 1 million. Maybe I'm wrong about something, but they're at 410,000 views on YouTube for their first show, which is. You know what I mean? It's more than TNA.
What Impact's
it's more than
getting,
Impact. It's more than Ring of Honor for sure. It's even more than a lot of like Grimm's Toy Show. And I know that a lot of people think like, what the hell? He's not a real. I mean, he kind of is. He's a backyard.
Yeah, he's got his stuff together for the most part.
Yeah, he's got a silly
people and
he's got a comedy, silly backyard wrestling show, and he gets more
follows
views.
Rules. He's got matches scheduled. He puts on full pay-per-views, and
right.
The match quality is pretty good for the most part. And on top of it, I mean, he's worked with a lot of talent that ends up getting signed to other major promotions. So,
yeah, NWA Power really reminds me of that like Saturday morning wrestling show a little bit. That's the one thing that I sort of what I didn't like a little bit about it was that it didn't feel yet like a nighttime show yet. It kind of did a little bit at times. And I wanted to have that sort of shotgun Saturday night vibe meets that sort of 80s, 70s wrestling TV show. And I think they're getting there, and they almost are there, but there was a part of it that still felt like kind of like early morning, Like I was watching, a variety wrestling show in the morning, which I like, but I liked that more when I was a kid. But the promos on NWA were great. I love Jim Cornette on commentary. I think his commentary partner seems pretty good. Nothing too crazy good, but not bad either, so I liked it. I'll have more to say on it tomorrow. I know I've been pushing this back and back, but after the AEW Dark and everything else I've done, by the way, I think AEW Dark might be the thing that's at maybe 800,000 views now.
Yeah, that got quite a bit originally, so
yeah,
I don't know what they're at now. But
let me go look, because NWA is at 410,000 views.
Yeah, that's crazy for their debut, stuff. Really quick, while you're looking that up,
800,000. 800,000. So they doubled it. AEW Dark doubled NWA, but that's okay because NWA is only.
But that's almost what they got for TV ratings. It's not far off. So that's an awesome retention for their audience.
I'm so happy for all these guys. I really am, man. This is such a great time for wrestlers. It's maybe not a great time for people that love the big company or whatever, but for wrestlers it's good. Then we're going to talk a little bit about and AEW, why don't you just pull me out of the stands? I mean, you're in Boston. You could have brought me out there. But no, I'm just a nobody. I'm kidding. But Taz
is going to do commentary.
Taz is coming. It looks like it's one of those things where they want a variety to do something as a gimmick to get you to watch, number one. But number two, it's also a tryout, to be honest.
They'll get everybody to go ahead and participate while they're in each area. They're going to have, try and at least include somebody different. And
right,
like you said, so it's somebody new each time, and it gives you kind of like a broad spectrum of talent to be included. Plus, some people are already established fans of these people, so he has his podcast, so that gets more people included. I mean, just bringing you to the show got people to watch AEW.
Right.
They're like, oh, if Joe's going, I'm going to check it out. So, like you said, great time to be a wrestling fan. Not a great time to be a Lions fan. Phantom Lion, really quick, sent me this on Twitter while we were talking about it, and he's like, look at all this BS. My God. He sent me like little video clips of each part too, Joe. They were called, there was a hands to the face called in Detroit, but you could see where the Packers clearly have their face on the helmet.
Oh my God.
Just 13 men on the field, not called. Face masking again, not called. Clear pass interference, against Detroit, and that wasn't called. He sent me, I think, maybe 7 different video clips.
Wow.
So you can't like argue again, like clear moments that were just not, Green Bay didn't have control of the ball when they, caught the pass, things like that. Like it just, ouch, that's rough. So
yeah, I can see some of them now, the highlights on Twitter that like people are pissed. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I mean, I'm sorry. I've seen it, for and against my own team, but even for, I remember when
everybody.
Remember when Brady, obviously I'm a Patriots fan because I'm from New England. I have to say that every time because then people go, "You're a bandwagon." No, I'm from here, you fucking idiot. But the bottom line is, they barely touched Brady, and they brought out the QB roughing the passer. Yeah. And the guy from, I think it was Mahomes maybe last year, Mahomes from Kansas City, they fucking like waffled him, and there was like no call, and it was like
there was nothing.
It was like the Brady thing. I
could have ran out and shot him, and they wouldn't have given a shit.
You like this new wide shot? Now I can do this.
Yeah. It's a sexy camera angle.
Sorry, I like to do that. I'm gonna hang some cool things. Out.
He said Ramblin' Rabbit was taken from us tonight in tonight's super unnecessary cruel arson attack. Rest in peace, brother.
That's funny. That's fucking funny, dude. Super unnecessary
cruel arson attack.
Oh my God.
See, he just that's why I think I'm even more upset, because when you see how he's been planning this stuff since 2015, he's put things into promos, and there's so much work. He had a chance to come back after the sickness was done, and he was cleared, just like Roman back in 2017 when he was doing the Sister Abigail bullshit with Demon Finn Pumpkin Balor. And he decided to stay off on the sideline so that he could get into this character and develop things further. I mean, that was like, almost a year he was out at that point. And then, he was doing nothing on the sidelines after doing everything with Matt Hardy. And it just, he got all this time off, and it's like, okay, he planned all this stuff going forward. And I feel like it's just not going to plan. I swear there has to be more than him.
It's just
getting
like Hardy.
his house torched, or
it's just like
so
Hardy.
Disheartening.
It's just like Hardy. He has a plan. It's like everything he executes. Like 80% of what it's like, to be honest, Jake, it feels like most of these wrestlers who are pretty smart, 80% of what they do like works out. It really feels that way. Like 80% of the time the wrestler does something, it works out, or it creates some other thing that they didn't expect to happen, and then that works out. But when they bring their plan and have to get it filtered by Vince nowadays, it feels like that Vince chops like their plan down into 30%, and they only get 30% over of what they wanted to, and a lot of times, so that leaves 70% of the time it doesn't really work, and that's because of this weird interference that he has, and it just doesn't work out. And then Triple H feels like somebody who just hates the hokey stuff almost. Just like, when Jericho said, when Vince wasn't there one night and Vince had said, whatever, and Jericho wanted to change and do the list. And like Triple H thought it was a horrible idea that they did the list thing. And I don't remember what it was. I don't remember if he thought the list was a horrible idea or if he thought that the way Jericho revealed attacking Owens was the bad idea. Does anybody in the chat remember this interview? Because it was like basically like he wanted to look at the list and be like, wait, why is my name on here? And then like they do the whole thing. And I guess like Triple H hated that and said, no, we're not doing that. And then he was like, Vince said I could do that. And then Triple H was like, well, no, we're not going to do that. And then eventually he called Vince and got Vince to call Triple H or something. And then Triple H was like, all right. And so then he went and did it.
Yeah,
and
then happened.
And then Triple H said to Jericho, you were right. I'm sorry. You did the right thing. And so imagine if Triple H had been in charge.
And just completely vetoed that idea, and it never happened.
Yeah, so it's like, what? So that was a case. I mean, I want everybody to think about this. That was a case where Vince McMahon was right. Jericho wanted to do that. Vince was right. Triple H wanted to say no. But yet that was the best story of the year. Now, no doubt that Vince McMahon, or rather no doubt that Triple H would like probably 90% of the time veto terrible shit. Like most of the time Triple H would probably be right with saying like, we're not doing that, But there's that one exception where that was pretty funny. That was one of the best things of the year. And it almost didn't happen because Triple H thought that's like hokey, whatever, we're not doing that. And then Jericho had to call Vince. Like, so I don't, and the trade-off is that you would get probably better wrestling, probably some better storyline wrestling, but the other trade-off is you wouldn't get this bombastic character or comedy.
We'd probably get a constant 7.5 out of 10, but we'd miss those great 9 moments. Like I feel like, because that's with NXT. NXT is, if you look at Triple H's track record, we have these incredible matches usually, but not a lot of story, not a lot of character development. I mean, there's more certainly than what we get at other points in times. But if you look at last week's NXT, it wasn't lackluster, but it was lacking compared to the week before. But I feel like it'd be like this safe alternative, so we'd always get something reliable each week. We'd know what we'd be getting, but we wouldn't get really any surprises. If we did, it'd be very few and far between. As with Vince, you can get an amazing show, and then you can get a terrible show, and it could land in either end of the spectrum. You really don't know what you're going to get, but you're going to get one of the two, and it's usually not too run of the mill. It's either really shitty or really great. So,
let me go back to the donations. People are anxious here. Let's see what you guys are saying.
About to get it, man.
I'm so sorry,
Here we go.
everybody.
About to get it, man. Here we go. Oh,
Big Daddy KB.
When I tweeted out Rollins versus Wyatt in Saudi Arabia, I was floored. 2 out of 10 show you. Said you need coffee, bro. I need weed to watch this.
I think I need alcohol to really enjoy WWE, that's no doubt, but I definitely need coffee to stay awake. And I need to start drinking it around 10:30, and I'm going to learn from that, guys. I'll do a better job. So that way when I come on the air with my review, I'll be hyped and ready to go right away. Tonight, it took me 40 minutes to get into this tonight. So I apologize, but good thing, Jake is always kind of on the same level. Even when he says he's tired, he doesn't appear to be. So I appreciate Jake covering the first 40 minutes because I was a dead zombie.
Do a little basketball dance off the concrete. I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
Go ahead and bite it.
Bray gets drafted to SmackDown and is still getting opportunities for the Universal title. If he loses, The Fiend is officially dead, and if he wins, he gets a title separate to his brand.
Yeah, Jacob Donnelly, thanks for the $10. I mean, right now, they've convoluted their best character again. They've made this so convoluted and so confusing in many ways. It's befuddling. It's ridiculous that they can keep screwing this stuff up. We should be ramped up the most interested we've ever been in this character at this point. And instead, it's like they always jerk the curtain back or jerk the rope back, like pull us back. Oh, we're hot, they pull us back. Oh, we fucked up. Here you go again.
If The Fiend gets traded back to Raw and WWE wants a real sports feel, then SmackDown in the trade should get Drew McIntyre and second-round pick in next year's draft or something like that. On a side note, we did a damn good job in Green Bay tonight.
The Green Bay Packers with a victory tonight. San Jose Sharks referees. Oh, the San Jose Sharks referees were at the fucking Green Bay game. Now we know why.
I knew it.
Why
13th man.
Why is Bray Wyatt on the Sports Feel SmackDown show? The fucking dead zombie guy is on the fucking sports show on SmackDown. It doesn't make any sense. Malik Hooker Droy. I mean, dude, the first thing that all these people see the other week is this guy coming out of the floor in a ring.
Coming from hell.
Shit bum. What the hell?
Cain Velasquez better have Conan and Rey Mysterio's 1999 theme song in his debut match. And the refs gave the Packers a W tonight. Love the show, Joe.
Oh, thank you, New York Frank 87. What's up, dude? And you're not biased because you're a Giants fan, so you're not biased to that. So I get it, man.
I'm a Giants fan as well. I get it. But.
Yeah, I mean they did. Something got screwed up tonight, Frank. And thank you, Frank, for becoming a $5 shit bum. If you guys want to donate and keep me on the air like you guys have been doing, the link is in the description box down below. I didn't get that part-time job, so this is it. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Wesley Willis?
I'm not dead. Cut your fucking mullet. Get the rat's nest off your skull. Go to the barber. Tell him you're tired of looking like an asshole. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Rock over London. Rock on Chicago.
I can't believe it. Wesley Willis is here. Oh my
shit.
God. Stabbing westward. Stabbing westward. Stabbing. Nobody knows what the fuck we're talking about right now, but that's okay. If you're from Chicago, you might. Thank you, Wesley Willis. Holy shit.
Here we go.
To be honest with you, I do like most of the draft picks Raw made, but I have zero faith in the creative team to book these great wrestlers properly.
Yeah, but you know what, Big Daddy KB? What is there to like? What was really drafted? You know what I mean?
It's pretty much all the same stuff.
Yeah.
With the wild card rule, that was the issue. There wasn't much to move back and forth because both sides have been everywhere.
Right.
So it didn't feel like anything was moving. A lot of people did move from brand to brand, but it doesn't feel that way because we've had Charlotte and Becky and Roman and Bray and so on and so forth on every fucking show. So it doesn't feel like anybody's moving places.
Out of nowhere, episode 30 was the draft with JD.
Aha.
Smiling face with smiling eyes.
Y Society, thank you. He did win that, by the way. I do remember. He got me pretty good in that. No,
yeah.
I mean, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. You know,
doesn't ever.
My God, that's gotta be Kane.
Rest in peace to Wesley Willis, man.
My God.
I have a genius idea of a storyline that can give WWE some buzz.
Aha. Well, wait a minute. Oh my God, JD Venom, you just left us with that? I gotta hear the storyline. God damn it! Now you just left us with that. Now I don't know what. Well,
that's a perfect WWE storyline right there.
Yeah.
I got the best idea ever. Oh yeah, what is it? What's what? The storyline. You just said you had a great storyline. I didn't say
That's
anything.
awesome.
What are you talking about?
That is great. All right.
Mike
well,
Kanellis is fighting people on Twitter now, starting
Really?
problems.
Here we go. Mike, Y Society, Joe 11, Joe at 12. Yeah, that's me in a coma, Y Society. Mike Kanellis, if you're watching tonight, Mike Bennett, my buddy Mike Bennett, if you're watching tonight like you could be, hit me up, bro. We'll do it. We'll do an expose video. We'll do whatever we got to do on WWE if we have to.
Well, Eddie Gomes sent me the set of tweets because they got taken down.
Oh.
And first, Leo Rush said, "I'm the greatest cruiserweight in the world right now, and that's an amazing feeling. Pound for pound. # that's the facts." So Mike's replied to him saying, "You won 2 matches. Chill out. There's an entire roster of cruiserweights that were grinding and working their ass off for that brand, while you were sitting at home for bad behavior. Let's not act like you weren't gift wrapped the Cruiserweight Championship."
Whoa. Who's he talking about? Who's he talking to?
He was talking to Leo Rush.
Oh, yeah, Leo Rush, yeah.
Yeah, so he was at home for bad behavior, and he was gifted that 205, whatever, NXT Cruiserweight title.
Wow.
So then Leo Rush says this. He said, "You're right. I was home, reflecting on my past and how I can get better. Getting back on the positive road to becoming a champion, literally and figuratively. Spending time with my children that are actually mine." He said in all caps. "I get your anger. Trust me. Win a match first. Maybe then we can talk it later."
God. I wonder. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what's kayfabe and not. All I know is that Mike Bennett is a.
This doesn't seem like kayfabe. This seems like them having problems with each other, especially with the whole "at home for bad behavior" comment.
Mike Bennett's a good guy, though. That's the thing. He's been too good. If everybody's been watching him, he's been like, "I'm just happy to be here. It's great." And I'm friends with him on his personal Facebook. And on his personal Facebook, he would post, like, "Can't believe this kid made it," and like, I'm so happy to be in the WWE. That's all he would ever post about is like,
yeah, he was just overly positive, and that's the thing too.
Love you, mom, love you, family, for supporting me, and like, look at
so many people would tweet him and say, "How can you stand by and see other people take your spots, and you're being taken for granted, basically. You put on this great feud with what's his name, the guy that was the head of 205 Live. I always forget his name. AOPP there. It'll hit me. And, I don't know immediately. But Drake Maverick, there we go. It came to my mind. And, they had this whole great feud, authoritative, back and forth thing, and that was great. And then Mike just gets nothing out of it. And people would bring this up to him on Twitter, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's the way the cookie crumbles." Like, no, stand up for yourself. So that's why him announcing that he wants to put in for his, his leave of
Humberto
so
Carrillo? Humberto Carrillo?
I'm always
Who the fuck
terrible.
is that?
He was in NXT. He was a cruiserweight, and then he did some stuff in NXT, and now he's on his way up. So he's been drafted to, I believe it was Raw, right?
What? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, Humberto Carrillo.
What? I'm watching the Seth Rollins stuff in the red now. And by the way,
He was a luchador that was obviously, he was Ultimo Ninja, I think it was.
Oh. I'm behind on that, man. I didn't even...
He's young, though. He's only 22, 23, maybe 24. Let me double check so I'm not totally off here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, obviously...
He's 23. He'll be 24 in 5 days. So, yeah, he was Ultimo Ninja when he worked through all the Mexican promotions.
Okay. What the fuck?
Yeah, he was in the 205
I've
seen
him.
And
I've seen him a little bit, like, but it's like...
It was just kind of
like,
random.
What?
And there were no... Did we get any other NXT picks or call-ups?
Not that I've seen. In fact, they said that there was... I thought they said there was no NXT drafting. I thought they said this was specifically between SmackDown and Raw. But
that's
who knows?
what I was confused about. So now the free agent list is Cesaro, Matt Hardy, AOP, Dana Brooke, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, Luke Harper, No Way Jose, Drake Maverick, Fire and Desire, which really surprised me that, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville didn't get drafted, Mojo Rawley, the Iconics, and Sarah Logan have all not been drafted.
The WWE has a massive load of undercard and mid-card talent. They have no stars.
They don't have a lot of top tier, but they've got tons of mid-card.
Oh.
And the free agents get to choose which brand they want to be on. Matt Hardy even tweeted out that since he wasn't even in the draft pool, that he can pick wherever he wants to go. So they said during Raw that they have 24 hours to tweet their decision. And tomorrow night we will find out on Fox Sports 1 what this blockbuster trade will be.
Oh,
apparently, that WrestleVotes account said that they're trying to make this year's draft look legit, and it's so far it's failed. And the blockbuster trade announcement will try and help legitimize this draft. And Adam Ant tweeted us before, and he said that the trade is likely going to be The Fiend for Rey Mysterio and Rowan. So
okay, I get okay.
SmackDown will get
so
Rey
everybody
Mysterio
gets
and Rowan, and
so everybody
Raw
gets back the guys that were on the shows anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then if they put the Fiend back on Raw, that's how they keep this going, because we have a match between Seth Rollins and the Fiend at the Saudi show, Crown Jewel, on 31st. And then we also have a match tentatively. It's still being planned for them to face each other at Survivor Series. So
what a waste of time.
And they can't have that happen if he's on the other brand.
This is a waste of time. Like this whole draft is a waste.
Red light on, even during like the main event dark match. It's so just, like I said, it's nauseating in a sense because it's so distracting. And even better, the dark match tonight finished in a DQ favoring Seth, and then the Fiend got the best of him afterwards. So the match ended in a DQ when the Fiend latched the mandible claw onto the referee. That's what they should have done at Hell in a Cell. At least if he attacked the ref and they went with a DQ and a Hell in a Cell, people would have been pissed, but maybe then you could understand, like, oh, you can't attack the official. But having the sledgehammer, I still can't get over that. You had a huge square mallet that they even said on commentary, like, oh, he almost impaled Seth Rollins with that mallet that he pulled out before.
Right.
But hitting somebody with a sledgehammer while his head is protected by chairs and ladders and a toolbox, that's too far. I still can't get over that bullshit.
Here's the Hardy video people asking about. Check this out.
Oh, yeah. We had brought that up before.
There are many hard truths that we must face in life. We must all learn how to separate reality from fantasy.
You can watch this on Matt Hardy's YouTube channel, Matt Hardy Brand.
I, myself, must accept the wicked reality that my time, that my broken brilliance may soon be coming to an end in the WWE Universe ring.
What is next for Broken Matt Hardy?
Where is this broken thing going? Matt Hardy is a little bit conflicted right now. Broken Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy worked his ass off on his character.
But another hard truth is that whenever I step through this gate that symbolizes the line between reality and fantasy, that the wonderful fantasy of broken Matt Hardy will forever be a reality on the magical Hardy compound. The cold trot cannot control my condition.
Truly epic.
It's like if
that's
they
the stuff we should have been getting.
And it's not even. It's just like if he can get out of WWE and he has creative control of that character, he owns that character, which I think he does. If he can get out of, which would explain why Vince never wanted to use it, really. But if he gets out of WWE and he can do this character again in AEW, like it's on, because that's
AEW makes your YouTube uploads canon. So they would work with him endlessly, I guarantee, to craft a narrative like we've never seen with this. Think about it. All the stuff that they do with being the elite, and they can incorporate all of Matt's YouTube uploads so he can keep the story going.
Yeah.
And only appear for 5 minutes on Dynamite. and fans would be elated because their like continued viewing is really high. Like you said, if 800,000 people watched AEW Dark, and you got 1.2 million watching Dynamite, that's great. That means that almost all of you, 3/4 of your audience is watching, everything you do.
And
so you don't have to explain more.
Didn't he lose a lot too? Like, he even lost a lot as Broken Matt. I think the only time he did. He lost a lot as Broken Matt Hardy, and then basically it was all to get to a deletion. Like, and that was fine. So him in AEW, because at one time, like, can you guys believe this? Jake, can you believe this? Do you remember when TNA was on fire and they had EC3 and Eli Drake and the Decay and Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy and everybody, and we were like, wow, this company has something. And then when they lost Dixie and everything changed, it went to hell. But for about 8 months, I want to say 8 months, TNA Impact Wrestling, I was reviewing it. I was reviewing TNA Impact. It was
interesting.
It was interesting.
Fresh.
It was fresh. It was fun. And I said to you, and we talked about this then, I said, Jake, we are going to look back on this in fond memories, that remember how awesome. And we couldn't believe that we were actually having that much fun with wrestling at that time. And Dixie Carter was talking to me in DMs and shit. Like, that was crazy back then. What a ride.
Yeah, we're talking to the Hardys on a regular basis.
We were hanging out. We were having so much fun. I got to call a deletion with Dickhead and the Hardy Boys. Like, that was so fun. And that was one of the funnest times in wrestling, man. It was so fun. I was 33. 33-year-old, like, fucking kid again for this stuff. And then we were so excited that he's going to go to WWE now after all these independent shows. And, oh, my God, we're going to get the Broken Matt Hardy in WWE. That's going to be awesome.
And it all comes down to some selfish dickhead that doesn't want to go ahead and let up the legal rights to something he didn't create.
But on top of that, WWE never did it right anyway. So they never did it right.
I wonder too, like, because it was Matt's, but if there wasn't such a holdup for it either, and it wasn't such a waiting game, like had it been something they just went right into as of Mania when they debuted, I think then with that full head of steam, they really could have seen it, because problem is too, like, people, by the time it did happen and come to fruition, I don't feel like it was still hot, but it wasn't nearly as over as it was. Too much time had passed. Too many people didn't know or forgot. It was hard to explain. So I think if they came in with that massive buzz from Mania with the broken gimmick in hand, win the titles that night, and then go right into the broken stuff, it would have made such an impact the night after WrestleMania. And the fans at home could have been like, oh, wow. I think it would have made that much more of an impact to the casuals, and they wouldn't have had to spend time explaining things. And I think that whole, storyline would have changed drastically if they didn't have to wait.
Yeah, I mean, and also if they'd explained to the mass audience what Broken is, because, again, like, people didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Like, we all did. Like, 800,000 people did. But the other 2 million people watching WWE didn't know what the fuck Broken was, or Delete, or what he was doing. So they never...
and why he was, because that was the whole point.
Right.
He got screwed over by Jeff, and he snapped. He got beat down and had to, lose the tag titles because his brother injured himself and cared more about his spot monkey ways than actually being a good partner and brother and all that. And he had enough, and he had basically a mental breakdown. He was a lunatic. He was crazy. That was the thing. And now suddenly he was thousands of years old, and he could speak to things, and there were drones and boats and yard keepers and, just all this, so many levels to it.
Oh man, it was so
everything. And then the wrestling was the forethought with all of it, but it wasn't the focus. It was everything else of the story. And then the wrestling ended up being top-notch, too, so it was just a total package.
Everything he did was gold. It was like Jericho right now. Jericho's kind of having that, not quite that level to me, but yeah.
Jericho can do no wrong. And that's why, there's certain people I feel like could do that within WWE and just either never got their time to shine, or when they did have a little bit of time in the spotlight, it was either too little too late or it wasn't handled properly. And one of those people happens to be Cesaro. Because who's someone right now that WWE can be like, all right, we need somebody that can lose, but also put on a really good match. Who do we got? Oh, Cesaro right away. And he's going to face that Mansoor, the guy that won the greatest Royal Rumble last year at the Super Showdown event in Saudi. And so that he's going to be facing Mansoor, at Crown Jewel. And it's like, oh, well, all right, there goes Cesaro's next loss. and it's unfortunate, but I mean, obviously they're going to have their hometown guy go over big again. But who can put on a great match and is easy to get along and work with no matter the style that can afford to lose? Oh, that's Cesaro. So, unfortunately he gets to be that position once again. And one thing about Raw tonight, too, that I'm still hung up on, I wanted to ask you before. I keep forgetting, though. Well, I missed it. I ended up having to ask what happened, and people filled me in. Matt let me know. But the Street Profits were backstage celebrating that they're drafted to Raw. The OC comes out, says, hey, welcome. And all of a sudden things got tense quickly, and they act like they're going to leave, and then they beat them down. And then WWE had tweeted out that, like, hey, there's going to be a match. This is happening. It's going to be a 6-man tag, and we never got it. I thought that was going to be the main event for tonight's Raw, but we never got it. We didn't get anything from it. It was just, I don't know what the hell happened.
I don't either. I get it, but I don't get where they were going with it. I guess they're setting it up for next week, probably, to be honest.
I guess, but I mean, Chance Big Slow on Twitter said, I think they forgot something because they tweeted out. They said the Street Profits want the smoke, and they want it against the OC in a 6-man tag match tonight in all caps, #Raw. And WWE tweeted that out at 10:30.
Ooh,
so I'm like, oh, that's going to be they said tonight. So I'm like, oh, there we go. That's the main event. And then we got, Lacey Evans and Natalya. So
do you think something happened, and then they were like, we got to do something,
they went with Lacey Evans and Natalya.
I mean,
instead.
It would explain why that made no damn sense.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe they're in the dark. No, they're not in the dark match because we already know the dark was
then
Bray.
They went right into
what
the red light of.
This is so weird. This is 2016. Somebody. You remember this? Just a little. Can you believe that was 2016? Real quick, and then I'm gonna play the donations. I'm so sorry. I know I'm behind. Still behind. Remember this, guys? This was 2016. Remember? It feels like it was yesterday.
Intro, just because. Who needs a damn intro? Where's Justin Bailey? Oh, he's in a tornado somewhere. Hey, Joe! Hurricane, maybe. We don't know. What's time I'll be on commentary, so I think it's right built into the stadium or something.
Look at this.
But hopefully there won't be. Whatever. Obviously, this is going to lead to controversy with Moose, or maybe it won't. Maybe they're trying to make you think it's leading to controversy with Moose, and maybe there won't be any. Who knows? On the face thing too quick, because I know.
And you know why I'm talking about Impact Wrestling here, by the way? Because it was fucking interesting. That's why I was talking about it. I was talking about Impact. It's like, when things get interesting, I talk about it. You know what I mean? That's why when people say, oh, you're an AEW dick sucker, and you don't like, and you just shit on WWE. No, because if I was that way, I would have continued to watch Impact Wrestling up until today. But what happened was Impact Wrestling broke down. They got bought by those idiots, and they started screwing things up left and right. And I got pissed off and said, this is the 7th or 8th time TNA has done this. I'm done. I'm done with this. This is bad. I'm out. And I stopped watching. Because when it's bad, or if I think it's bad, I stop watching. And listen, they can have good guys, like good wrestlers now, and they do. Honestly, Impact Wrestling is a lot better now, but all because of that stigma, I won't watch again. I just won't do it. I and also because they've always been shitty to me, kind of. Now, Dixie wasn't. Dixie was about to hire me, but then she had to leave. But they've always been weird to me about things. You know, Josh Matthews even finally blocked me. But you know what? The commentary over there I don't think is very good. Sami Callihan is great. I love Sami Callihan. He's great. And a lot of those guys are great, and they're not getting their due, to be honest. And most of it is because of the suffering that this company has caused their fans over the years of sucking them in and then shitting on them. Impact Wrestling is like WWE to the extreme. Like, come in, look at all this great stuff. Oh, you like it now? Guess what? That's what they do. It's like rinse and repeat with Impact Wrestling. Come on back. See how awesome it is? Oh, my God, it is awesome. I love this now. We're going to get WWE. Oh, wait, Impact. What was that, Impact? Oh, okay. It's like Impact Wrestling is like Zion in the Matrix. Every like 6 months, like there's another one launches and then they get destroyed again, and then they have to start again, and then they get destroyed again. That's what Impact Wrestling is. It's almost unfucking believable. Like, how are they still a company? And they barely are. They barely are now. But yeah, so if you do a good job and you get my attention, I will watch your product. But if you suck ass and you really start insulting and shitting on the fans, whether that's because you're not offering the right contracts, you're not doing the right things by the talent, by the wrestlers, by the fans, by the way that I can find you on television. I got to search for your fucking channel every 6 months. You change goddamn cable channels. You know, at this point, just go on YouTube. Just go on YouTube. NWA does it. Why don't you just go live on YouTube and get rid of this TV shit? Because it's a waste of time. Right. It's a waste of time. And you're making people jump through hoops to find you. Why? And you're paying the talent shit, and they're complaining, and people are fighting about it. The bottom line is, at this point, Impact Wrestling is a indie promotion that tries to operate still on a bigger scale, that still does pay-per-view. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. But they do put on a good show, and they have great wrestlers, no doubt about it. Professional, great wrestlers. And unfortunately, when people make fun of it, it's not fair to those wrestlers because they're good. And I think they are starting to come out of it a little bit. Started last year, Slammiversary. But Slammiversary, wait a minute, what's this week? Is it Bound for Glory?
I don't know.
I think Bound for Glory is this week. Maybe, or whatever. It's coming up this Sunday, I forget. Somebody in the chat will say it. And listen, if they didn't shit on me so many times, I'd promote the shit out of all their stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You
but
know, one
fuck
hand washes the other, quid pro quo. But
there's only so many bubbly.
That's it.
I agree.
Bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh.
It is now, Lightning Bug.
That's it.
Oh, look, the pompous brat who claims he makes 60K whose balls haven't dropped. Better hope Earl doesn't find out walking down the street. Your balls will finally drop when they're chopped and shoved up your ass. Bitch.
Oh, my God. Jesus. Who makes 60K whose balls have never dropped? Oh, that guy. Is that the guy going after the guy that went after Dr. Earl the other day?
Yeah.
That kid that said 60K.
I make 60K, okay?
Lightning Blitz is flipping out in the chat. He's like, they're not an indie promotion.
So many people get their hopes up for change. Change isn't going to happen until Vince falls down a flight of stairs and fucking dies.
Wow, Brandon Lee. Jesus. Thank you for becoming a $5 shit bum. Jesus. Well, by the way, that was an insult, me calling them an indie promotion. I don't think you understand that, you know? I mean...
That was a slight on them. Fuck that out.
I said they basically are an indie promotion. Like, they basically are.
That's an insult to indie promotions.
Yeah. I mean, dude, HOG appears to be bigger than them.
What else we got?
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Breaking news. Vince McMahon found dead under Chris Benoit's pillow from 2007. If only it was true.
Sasha's mouth blues. Vince McMahon found dead. Jesus Christ, that's awful. My God, thank you for the donation, but it's terrible. Al in the chat says, good remarks, Joe Cronin, and put those words in your mouth for AEW is cutting shit on you, Joe. What? What are you talking about? I don't know what that means. I only read that because I read that in the chat and I went, what? What's he talking about? I don't know what that means.
You're my man. I wanna see you naked. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. I don't care if your whole fist goes up my asshole. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. Yeah.
By the way, what happened to the 6-man tag match that was scheduled for tonight? I guess WWE realized they ran out of time. This show sucks, it's the devil's dick. Rape me. Kill me. Die, Vince. Just die.
Jesus Christ, JD Venom. You got a good point, man. I know we just kind of mentioned it, but JD Venom, you're on, man. That was donated a while ago, so you're on, JD Venom.
Yeah,
oh, shit.
Just a minute ago, as I'm checking all the news, Ringside News book went out too. WWE cuts
My name is Kane and I'm donating.
Holy shit, New York. Giants Frank.
Poor Eric Young.
Yeah, they... Poor Eric Young, dude. He's running around like an idiot jobber out there. Hey, it's me, Eric Young. What am I doing? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Let me go over there. That was kind of funny. Poor Eric Young. He did look like an imbecile. WWE tried to, like, sell him a little bit like, he's not usually afraid of anything, Eric Young, but he's scared of this or whatever. And it was just like, ugh. They really talk about bailing on that whole thing before they ever gave it really a chance at all. Matt the Misfit, all that hope and love and
Super chat.
Nothing.
Party.
Ashley Rose Nova.
Just popping in. Hi, Joe. Hi, Jake.
Hi, Ashley. What's up, Ashley?
Hey.
She's doing a good job on Twitter and her website too. Check her out on Twitter.
Always working hard. David on Twitter said that he sent us a tweet from Seth Rollins. Seth was replying to somebody that said, is the Falls Count Anywhere match going to end in DQ, just like your Hell in a Cell match did? And Seth said, correction, it ended in ref stoppage. When a body isn't moving, the officials have the right to make the call.
That's true, in a way.
Yeah, and the top reply so far is, when a body isn't moving, don't you cover him for the pin?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, there are a lot of times where a guy looks knocked out. They don't ring the bell.
Exactly. So that was another fun fact. Nia Jax is also a free agent. She said, where will I choose to go? And I should reply, hell. Go to hell.
Go to hell.
Why the hell is Seth facing Bray at Blood Money?
Why the hell is Seth facing Bray? Because they don't know what to do. I don't know. Nick Grasso.
Well, that's the thing. And even worse than that, though, Joe, this is what confuses me. When they just announced, 2 weeks ago, that it's Team Hogan and Team Flair.
Right.
So Seth Rollins is the captain of Team Hogan, and Randy Orton is the captain of Team Flair.
But
so now what are they going to do with that match? Since Seth's the captain, and I haven't heard anything else about them picking teams for people for the rest of the teams. Randy was picking Baron Corbin, and Seth, I believe, was going to get Cedric Alexander, but that was the last we heard of it. So we have, we got Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar when Kane's got his knee all fucked up, so that might be a big disaster. Tyson Fury is making his debut against Braun Strowman. We've got The Fiend and Seth Rollins. We've got Cesaro versus Mansoor, and then we've got that 9 tag teams in the biggest ever clusterfuck to determine the best tag team in the world. So that should be entertaining.
That is a really good question. I wonder if they're going to switch him or if he's going to be doing double duty. 315 is on the phone.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
I'm just curious about what you think about the we got a big trade announcement after the Yankees game.
It's going to be Wyatt going from SmackDown to Raw.
Looks like people think it's really going to be Wyatt right now.
That's the only thing that makes sense, because they're doing so much to build Wyatt and Seth still, and they can't have them on different brands if they're going to keep the feud going.
If you looked at the guide says SmackDown from 8:30 to 10:30. Like, it looks like a full show.
I think they were doing like some preview thing with it, like a recap of SmackDown as well.
What's the score in the Yankees game, by the way?
Yankees aren't playing tonight, buddy.
Oh, I thought you were saying after the Yankees game. I was like,
tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? Game. The Yankees and Astros played tonight? Because as a Red Sox fan, I have to hope the Yankees lose. So You know, I gotta watch.
Oh, I'm a Mets fan, and I hope the Braves lost. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hope the Braves lose too because of catfuck, man. But
yeah,
I agree, man. Man, give me that fucking drugs that you're on tonight. That guy sounds like me when I started the show tonight. Like, oh,
sounds how I feel now.
I'm a Mets fan. Oh. Can you imagine the people over in Scotland, Ireland, UK, well, Australia's different. It's in the daytime now, but all the other places over there that watch WWE. And by the way, anybody in Japan, man, I love you guys. I am so sorry what happened. People's homes are flooded. The typhoon was very scary. I was tweeting what few people I know in Japan the other day, and Ed's view's okay.
I saw Ed's view was all right. And I was like, oh, that's good. At least you're replying
right away.
right
It
away.
was so scary, dude. I really, man, I just hope everybody's okay. And it looks terrible out there in Japan right now. The dojo I know was flooded for New Japan. But yeah, man, just awful. That typhoon was really, really scary. I'm going to go play these donations again.
Super chat. Hope Tommy jumps.
What? Well, you might have a better chance of really Tommy getting hit by a car, Glorious. You know, if you wanted him to really, be hurt, I think hit by a car is your best bet. Oh, it's time! I got it! I got it!
My enemies saw the clan and ran.
Let's drink it!
Come on, make me believe in safety. I'm so thirsty, would you enter me? All my friends are fucking the man, 'cause all my friends are drinking cran. They're drinking cran, 'cause all my friends are drinking cran.
Jessup is here.
After watching AUWWE seems so fucking lame as hell.
Yep, I mean that's a big problem too. After you watch what AEW produces, and they're not, they have issues too, but it just makes WWE look that much worse.
80, 70, 30. For a minute there I thought Joe was going to get into Steiner math. As for Mike Bennett, Tommy's right. Fuck you, cocksucker.
Oh.
Raw was shit. I give it Chris Benoit's neck out of 10.
Oh my God. What in the hell? Thank you very much, Canadian Cripple, for that donation. I must give hats off to Jessup with the $17 cran drop. He's going to be in the forefront to win that digital title.
That's it. Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Yeah.
We hereby are proud of the Green Bay Packers football team, the most prestigious team in all of football. We will gladly guide them to the Super Bowl and get them that win. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers, you suck that dick, the greatest out of them all.
Green Bay Packers refs, thank you very much. Obviously taking a page out of the San Jose Sharks referees. And yes, the Braves are already eliminated by the Cardinals. Cardinals or Astros. Come on, Cardinals or Astros. You guys can win the World Series. Let's go.
About to get it, man. Here we go. About to get it, man.
Or at least the Astros.
Here we go. Oh, no.
What's up?
I am with you, Joe. I came home, took a shower. I had Raw on for about 10 minutes and went straight to sleep.
Man, I almost did. Elliot, thank you for the $5. My AEW vlog is going to be up soon. I'm just going to put it up tonight, so everybody's been waiting for it. It was supposed to come out days ago. I'm just going to upload it tonight. It's going to take hours to go up, but it will go up. By the morning it will be up, and I'll have some other things coming up as well. But Elliot, thank you for that $5, man. And yeah, dude, it was hard. It was a struggle to watch. And then I was actually looking forward to Jesus, I'm going to go help my kids go to sleep and help tuck them in or something, because this.
Give it a hell yeah!
Terrible.
Thank you, Joe. I look forward to your show more than Raw. Why can't this company just go back to being raw and gritty like the 90s? That's what worked.
Right.
Not Seth Gay-ass Rollins ruining the show and the best thing since The Undertaker.
Steve Brady, thanks for the 316. Austin doesn't give a fuck. No, but it doesn't even need to be like, that's the thing we all talk about, is AEW isn't really like Attitude Era. They're just kind of doing whatever they feel is right.
Shut up and bend over.
Ooh.
Finish it.
Oh my God, don't finish it. Please don't finish it.
I'm going to finish it. Yeah.
Oh my God, my ass right back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, finish in it.
I hate life, I hate WWE. People who like this show is for faggot pussy fucks stab the children.
Oh
stab
my
the gays.
Jeez, what?
Stab Mojo Rawley. I hate WWE, the small dick faggots that call themselves writers go burn in a bonfire that is fueled by paper bags and horse shit.
God, I mean, like, Harry Steve, I mean, I don't like the stab the gays thing. Like, that's not cool. I mean, like, saying the F word is funny. I don't care about that. But when you incorporate the word fag and then you say stab the gays, like, that's, I mean, I'm sure it was a joke, but that was fucked up. I do not condone stabbing gay people. Please do not do that. I love my gay friends. Let's not. I'm going to go SJW on you now. Like, 'cause that was fucking fucked up, dude.
Too far.
Like, what the fuck? Like, you could have said that out of nowhere, and that, like, that was pretty funny. But, like, when you add the F word with that, like, it's like, oh, God. Like, that is, I can't endorse that. That's fucked up. That's like saying, I don't know. I'm sure it was a joke, though, but it just was fucking, it's fucked up. Like,
What if the turkeys hate us?
Thank you for the donation, though.
What if they filleted us? What if they killed us and ate our children? What if the turkeys ate us? Or what if they filleted us? If the turkeys ate us, if they had to hate us. Thanksgiving was a little bit different. Instead, the turkeys ate us. They gobbled us apart. But first they'd eat our nuts, and then they fucking ate a bus. The turkeys ate us. What if the turkeys ate us? What if the turkeys ate us? What if they ate our fucking nuts? What if the turkeys ate us instead of mashed potatoes? Instead the turkeys ate us.
My God, this so-called draft was bad. Didn't really watch all of it. Out of 10.
Woof. God damn, son. That was Everyday Jam. Giving it a 1.5 out of 10, even though I didn't watch it. Everyday Jam, thank you for the turkeys donation. That is the largest donation of the stream. So shout out to my buddy Everyday Jam, who had to suffer through some of this too. Much appreciated, and you are going to possibly take home that digital championship tonight. Everyday Jam, thank you for keeping me on the air and getting, I don't know, man, thanks for the support and keeping the show on the air and all the donations tonight. Really, really appreciate this, man. You fucking beasts out there. You guys are beasts. And now I can tell Leah, this is why I sat in the basement on my show for 3 hours. It was worth it, you stupid bitch.
I'm gonna leave this briefcase right here. I'ma leave this briefcase right here. I'ma leave this briefcase right here. I'ma leave this briefcase right here. Ha ha ha. I'ma leave this briefcase right here. Son, run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Fucking run, you fat bitch. Don't you think I'm a fucking terrorist?
I'll be straight with you, Joe. I missed the first 2 hours of Raw tonight because I wanted to skip the dumb draft. I'd sit on at 10 p.m. to see Bobby and Lana segment and was creeped the hell out. Fuck Vince and fuck this show. 1/10.
The Soundwave 92, my buddy, I met him the other day at the AEW show. 1 out of 10. Yeah, you know what, dude? I'm with you, Soundwave. I'm giving tonight's show a 1 out of 10 because Buddy Murphy and fucking whatever in their little match, and the Viking Raiders.
What else we got? Oh,
it's not enough
a little
to save
bit of the
show.
bubbly.
That's it. Yeah,
Want some
not
bubbly?
enough.
Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. Eli Drake. Dummy, yeah.
Dummy, yeah. Sasha's Mouthblood, thank you for the $3. What's up? And what does this guy mean in the chat? DHA Great, the turkey shit is beyond pussified. Quit playing to the kids and foreigners, you bum crumb. What is he talking about?
I think he's lost it.
I mean, the people that donate most of the time are in their late 20s to 30s and what?
Yeah, they're the ones that want to hear it. So.
Mostly it's the people around my age that donate. The kids mostly are fucking paying college bills. Muhammad Naheem, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Muhammad, how you doing, my friend? Thank you very much for being here.
Super chat party.
Relic 827, a good friend.
Is the Fiend really gonna carry that severed headlamp to the ring at Saudi Arabia?
He's gonna carry a naked woman effigy to the ring in Saudi Arabia. No, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't really carry it around right now. He only really carries it out when he's... I mean, it is a pay-per-view kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess he could. I mean, it's not like they're in China, and he has to worry about, like, ghosts.
Yeah.
You know, there's... Saudi Arabia likes The Undertaker. What's the big deal?
Yeah, they like beheadings anyways.
Yeah,
so.
they'd probably be like, fuck yeah, that's what... I love that. They saw that guy's head off again. You know what I do like? The one thing I like about Saudi Arabia when they go there is the people, like the kids and the families who get to experience WWE. They look really happy and excited. That's the one thing I like about it. That's about it.
I said that from the start.
Yeah, that's it.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Bubbly.
Fireworks aren't killing anybody.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
When you warm Vince Trust, aka Seth, he just shoves you down everyone's fucking throat.
Yep, when you, that's the problem, Sasha's Mouthblood. And now he's going to look at Sasha and be mad again. He's going to be like, there we go again. We put it on her. She's injured again. Got to go back to Charlotte, who's always there for Vinnie Mac. And it seems like nobody else can ever be there for Vinnie Mac except Charlotte. Jake, I'll let you take over for a minute while I fix this shit real quick. I'll be right back with you. It's on you.
I was just honestly confused because, you know, as I said before, with Lacey Evans being chosen, not only is she on SmackDown, but Natalya tweeted out yesterday saying, you know, can we have Liv Morgan on Raw, please and thanks? And then she gets drafted to Raw. Then she says she needs a partner. So it's like, you know, bip, bam, boom, makes sense. Ask and you shall receive. And what do we get? None of it. It just nothing, you know, comes to fruition about this. It's just really confusing that, all right, the wild card rule is null and void. That's completely dead. Okay, well then how did how did that work? How did Lacey Evans, you know, go ahead and it's just there's so many questions about these type of things right now, and I have a feeling that as much as we've been told that the wild card rule is said and done, I mean, if Bray isn't the one to, you know, have his drafting pulled and traded back to Raw, then right then and there, I mean, they already lied to us because they have matches announced already. We're going to see them, you know, on other shows. So lo and behold, it's a dangerous scenario, and I really hope that they're sticking to their guns about these things and not lying to the fans and simply, we're just going to tell them what we want them to hear, and then it never actually comes to fruition again. So, again, like I said before, I think it's odd that they have to draft certain champions. You know, the Raw Women's Champion should already be on Raw. Same thing with SmackDown. These people shouldn't go ahead and need to be drafted at all. Buddy Murphy being included, that's good. There are some good things here. He did have a good match, as Joe said, with Cedric Alexander. I just don't think it was enough to actually, get the live crowd going, and the way they broke up some of the action too, because of the commercial breaks, the crowd starts to get into it, and then they have to go to, the usual rest holds and waiting pattern for 3.5 minutes while the commercials go ahead. So, you get a springboard to the outside, and then like, oh, commercials. So go ahead and hold off on the action for a few minutes. So when you do come back into it, and you get that sit-out powerbomb, you get the two, the near fall for the 2 count, and then Murphy's Law for the win, and the crowd's like, they can't really get behind it. So I'm also curious about Seth Rollins. Is he going to be out as the captain for Team Hogan, or is he going to be paying double duty? I mean, that's troubling as well. So I do think that they're going to go ahead and have more to do with this Cain Velasquez story and Brock being on SmackDown. So I do think that, as others have mentioned, we'll see Rey Mysterio get drafted, or traded, I should say, back to SmackDown. We'll have Bray Wyatt come back to Raw with The Fiend, and from there, that'll be it. I'm curious that they did make sure to announce Liv Morgan got drafted to Raw. So is this going to be the start of her singles run? Are we going to start seeing things from her? The end of the show certainly felt oddly placed and rushed. They, like I mentioned earlier, they cut the Street Profits match. It was announced, at least on Twitter anyways, we're going to get some form of a 6-man tag. So who's going to be their partner? And then we go ahead. I figured it would have been Seth, just to go ahead and lead into something with the Firefly House, with him hunting for the Fiend. And unfortunately, that's not what we got. We got the Kabuki Warriors taking on, Natalya and Lacey Evans. And as soon as the match ended, we immediately rush into the Firefly Funhouse. And I'm like, oh, this is still happening. And it was, I believe, like 10:58, 10:59 at that point. And they don't have any chance for an overrun. So NXT can go past time by 15 minutes, and they've utilized that twice now. But Raw can't? How does that make any sense at all whatsoever? And yet again, you end another show with the fans audibly booing what's happening on screen with your face of the company. Your biggest face is performing an action that's upsetting the crowd. Same way, you heard AEW chants and restart the match and we want a refund. Now you're hearing people, jeering and booing the fact that you're setting the Firefly Funhouse on fire. There's ways they can get out of this. They can make it look like nothing ever happened, and you simply just let him in when he showed up, or they could go ahead and really try and salvage. Oh, we could fix it and it could be redone, but I don't foresee that being anything that they'll do, and we'll go ahead and probably just get more of the same, with Seth saying, oh, I burnt it down once, I'll burn it down again, and it'll bring us to Crown Jewel. And it's just overly disappointing. I was enjoying The Fiend immensely. I saw so much promise in everything that they have done up until Hell in a Cell. And that was why I was so worried about them having this title match now. We were worried that it would ruin the character, it would ruin the special feeling that was around it. The aura is shot. The mystique, the premise even is faulty, because what good is it having him not be able to respond? Oh, well, he kicked out right at 1. He kicked out at 1, Joe, but he also laid there for 8 minutes in between each pinfall and did nothing.
Right.
Oh, another stomp, and then another stomp, and then a pedigree, and then a chair shot.
I've got some news on this.
He kicked out at 1, but he's just lying there. Kicking out at 1, granted, yeah, but he's just lying there, doing nothing.
Well, I think
what's scary about that?
I think that's what the booing comes from. It comes from, number one, the way it was executed. They didn't like the way their hero Bray Wyatt was booked. They didn't like the way that Seth Rollins, the supposed hero, was booked. They didn't like any of it. They thought it was ruining everything for them, and that's why they booed. It wasn't just like, what is this? Let's boo. They were booing because so much was like, ew, what are they doing? Ew. Okay, so I just got off the phone with somebody who's a little bit intoxicated, was backstage with WWE Tonight, and I'm going to tell you what they said. So I don't do this often, but I'm going to do it for you tonight. Number one, I'm almost 90% at this point. Bray's going to Raw. We all knew this. We talked about this already tonight. That's already been out there. Probably the same person put it out there to somebody else earlier. But now I'm being told by somebody that that's happening. Number two, I'm also being told that this will not be the last time we see the red light, that the red light will continue. Not only tonight at the dark match, but it will continue some more. But it may not continue in matches, but I don't know either. They're just saying it's going to continue. So red light continues. Bray Wyatt's getting traded. The third thing is that apparently the idea is, at least it has been right now, and now they're almost certain about it, is that they're definitely looking at doing a double turn with Seth and Bray somehow. I don't know how you do that with a character like Bray, but the bottom line is they're looking at sort of flipping the stuff, making Seth Rollins kind of go crazy, kind of like Bret Hart with Stone Cold, if you remember that. Like, Bret Hart was like, I'm Bret Hart, damn it, and whatever else, and you're cheering for this Stone Cold guy who's an asshole, and then they're sort of going to get into that maybe with Seth here. Now, we know that every time they do something like this that reminds us of something in the past, it's never as good. So, again, this won't be as good if they do that, but, it's obvious that like they may be going that route. But I'm told that that's the other thing that they're possibly doing, that they're looking at doing. It's a slow burn. Pun intended, burn it down. It's a slow burn. But that is sort of what they're getting at here, it looks like. Whatever, at this point I don't care. The last piece of information that I have is that several talents, this isn't surprising, are angry and upset because they feel like they were suckered or duped into these contracts. I don't know how they could have been suckered and duped, because me and you sat here saying, like, don't do this unless you don't care about all the great stuff that could have happened outside the company. But it sounds like why they're upset, the reason they're upset, and this goes back to what we said earlier.
Being promised.
Right, was like in the contract, there's facts in the contract. There's legal items and facts in the contract. But what wasn't in the contract was, listen, we've got all these plans for you. We haven't even done any of it yet, and we're going to get there now. But obviously we need to have you in the company to do it.
And so a lot of that was probably a handshake agreement.
Yeah, that's a verbal thing said, and it's a light thing. It's not something Vince said like, we're going to do a lot of things with you. It's the person, the people with the lawyers who are saying like, oh, we value you a lot. We have so much that we can do with you creatively. Right now we didn't have anything, but we're going to have that, and that's why we're going to lock you up for 5 years. We wouldn't lock you up 5 years if we didn't have something for you. But then they don't, and people are starting to realize that.
They would say anything. I mean, we know that they would tell them outright, this show couldn't run without you for what we have planned.
Right.
You wait. You're going to be on everybody. They can make a million promises and not have to stick with it if it's not in writing. So a lot of people just chose to go with it because they went ahead and really wanted to, be financially set.
It fucked up Sasha so much that we know she left and she was depressed and she had to go to the room where she threw stuff and she had to go away for a long time. And it's like, dude, a lot of that sadness and a lot of that depression came from feeling trapped in this fucking company. And that's what it is. And a lot of you're going to see all these other people dealing with that same type of thing, that same depression. You know what I mean? And I know what they're talking about, because you're doing the thing you love, but you're not doing like everything you love the way you 100% wanted to. Like, I can relate to that. I mean, I love doing this and I'm doing these shows and I really love them, but there's a part of me that feels empty without doing wrestling commentary. When I'm not doing wrestling commentary, I feel there's a part of me that's really empty and that gets depressed, because I want to do either NHL commentary or wrestling commentary. Those are the things that I love the most of anything, is being live, watching a sporting event and calling it. That's like the greatest thing ever to me. The second greatest thing ever to me is doing this and doing a radio show, doing a podcast, doing something like this.
I get it, though, to not be feeling fulfilled. You look down and you can't see your
greedy,
penis. I mean, we all deal with that. It's just
yeah. Everybody knows what this is like. I know what it's like. I mean, I worked all kinds of weird jobs. I remember just working at like 50 hours a week, being like, oh God, like I hate everything.
That slog. You'd get home at 8:30 and have to rewind Raw. That was a fun time.
It took a long time to get here to this. So I know I used to think like, oh, that guy has 3,000 subscribers. If only I could have a little bit of a following, I would want to do a show and everything. And it's like, you got to do it first. You have to do that first. You have to give value to people first. And I did that, and eventually we built this up. But now I look to the next thing, because that's what we do as humans. We all look to the next thing we can do. At work, you want a promotion because you've done so much stuff here. Hey, can I get that promotion now? And when you don't get it, you start feeling depressed, like, this is all I am. You know, this is all I'm going to be. And it's definitely obviously affecting some people in the locker room. Not everybody, but what I heard is that there's an issue with several people, and people are pissed. And that's crazy. You know, but it's not surprising either.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's all I got right now off of that. And the person was a little smashed, but be that as it may.
It is interesting, though. I mean, most of it lines up to what we assumed.
Oh, fuck me. I didn't think there was any new ones. Fuck Fortnite dancing fag. What?
We got some turkeys coming.
127, 69, 82, 27, 112, 32, 55, 74. These numbers mean more than Monday Night Raw. The stupid gay-ass pussy fortnight of these cock-inhaling streaming looking at awesome Kong's black hole for hours is better than WWE. How fucking pathetic, faggoty, and sad.
Wow. Well, so I guess you like Fortnite better. I know that Fortnite went down the other day. My 9-year-old, my 10-year-old, shit, he's 10. He came running down. He was like, "Hey, Fortnite's gone." I'm like, "Really?" And it really was for like a
What
day.
else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff.
Bubbly.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
I keep spelling my fucking name wrong on Streamlabs.
Sasha's Mouth Blood. Thank you. And yes, you're legendary, Sasha's Mouth Blood, and I probably should have known and just read it the right way, but, you know, I couldn't take the chance that you were Sasha's Mouth Bloon, or whatever the fuck you were earlier. I think it's a gimmick by Fortnite, right? Mostly to, like, change server stuff and then create a buzz, I guess?
Yeah, they do it all the time. Oh, there's a comet, there's a meteor, there's a black hole, there's a dildo.
But it never went down, though. This is different.
I think this is just part of the
Oh my God. Jake DeMarco, this Soundwave 92, I met him at AEW Boston.
What if the turkeys ate us?
Let me see them. Look at the chat. The turkeys are ready. Dude, the turkey's over. Turkey Club t-shirts are coming.
Thanksgiving was a little bit different. Instead, the turkeys ate us. They gobbled us apart. But first they'd eat our nuts.
Simo.
And then they'd eat our butts. The turkeys ate us. What if the turkeys ate us?
It's like Hogan in the NWO.
What if the turkeys ate us? What if they ate our fucking nuts? What if the turkeys ate us? Instead of mashed potatoes, instead the turkeys ate us. Oh, they ate our butt.
To the faggot in chat who says that turkey donations are for pussies, this one is for you, bitch.
Oh.
Also, Joe, I don't remember if you actually dropped that vlog of when we all were at the event last week, but I am dying to see it. Prayers for Japan, folded hands.
Yeah, I love you, Japan. Awful shit. And the Soundwave 92, yeah, it's going to go up tonight. I was going to launch it in the midday during the week, and instead it's going to go up tonight. So it's going to be probably another hour before it really uploads, or 2 hours maybe. But when you wake up in the morning or whatever, it will be there for you to go back and watch my AEW vlog, which was mostly just an over-the-line, over-the-top comedy vlog, because I was just acting like an idiot all over the place, trying to have some fun. And I had my friends who had a suite upstairs, friends across, and I was able to have access anywhere.
What
so
else we got? Oh,
I just had a good time.
That's it. Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff.
Remember when you had a sweet ass.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Speaking of Sasha, she has a special place in my heart from what she was in NXT when I used to watch it, and she was amazing there.
So good then.
There might not be a person on the roster that deserves as much as her, dude. She's absolutely amazing and they killed her.
Yeah, they did to her what they've done to a lot of people. And, you know, Sasha's mouth blood, they've even done it to Becky. It's like Becky gets over a little bit, they pull her back, they mess it up. Becky gets over a little more, they pull her back again. And now she's sort of at a cringy Seth level almost as well. Oh, shit, it's time to get fucked up! Let's get fucked up! Oh. Holy shit!
Yeah. Oh no, we ain't having no tie for that belt sound wave.
Whoa.
I am the JCS Digital Champ for life. I'm the one and only JCS Digital Champ.
Everyday Jam wants to take back that digital 24-hour championship. Everyday Jam. Oh, man, we were about to take him off the list, but now we can keep him on the list and put him up to that 33 spot. Everyday Jam, thank you, man. He's going to take home that
wants
belt.
To get fucked up and stay in the top with that belt defense. Damn.
I want to get fucked up. Remember some guy from, I think this guy's from maybe the UK, I believe, and somebody said they knew this guy. He always goes there.
That's
like,
nuts.
I don't remember who it was, but I believe it was someone in England somewhere.
That would sober me up so quick.
If I saw that guy, I would just pull out my camera. I'd be like, dude, you're the man right there. We were getting out of a wrestling show in Fall River. There was a guy like that doing karaoke. And I remember I put it on the vlog. It's actually up on my channel.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly?
Get some bubbly.
Stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
That last caller had a little bit of the bubbly. Is Joe going to be used well? What if Bray wakes up on Friday from a dream and just simply says yowie wowie?
I would have bazzed them.
That I'd be all about.
That'd
if
be
he just came to and was like, nothing happened.
Yeah, that was a dream. Wow, that'd be really interesting. Tyler,
don't even make it as a dream. Just ignore it. Like nothing happened. Like it's sacred grounds.
Well, they just did it to do it. Vince did this to just be like, oh, that'd be funny if you burnt the place down for real. Like
there was no rhyme or reason. Hey, you say you burn it down, so let's have you burn it down. Get it?
Yeah, he burns it down.
That's good shit.
That'd be good shit. The puppet's on fire. Oh, it'll be good.
And that's what I said. We should have seen the puppets on fire, especially since Bray said they
that
were
would have been hilarious. This is the last donation. We're caught up on the donations. He is the perfect Sean Spears.
I thought Raw was very bizarre, not very good. But when the Undisputed Era leave NXT, what do you think will happen to them? I'm a big fan of the show and such. Much love.
The Villain, thank you for the $10, man. Thank you so much, dude. Thanks for being a part of the show and for supporting it with your hard-earned money, man. Appreciate that. They'll be just probably like everything else. Like, they'll probably be pretty good, but they won't be, anything great. Probably similar to Kevin Owens, I feel like, because I feel like those guys have that same sort of look where they're very believable. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, Adam Cole is pretty believable. Like, it's not like Decay, or not Decay, I don't even remember the name of the people. Eric Young's group. It's
Sanity.
Sanity. It's not like Sanity where, like, that could be goofed up or some goofy thing. They're pretty serious. But, just take a look at AJ Styles in the OC and take a look at Owens. And, like, those are guys that are kind of like Undisputed and realize that's about what it's going to be like. That's it. Going to have great entrance music. Very serious. Could they all join together and form a giant stable and have some fun? I mean, maybe we could, but for the most part, no.
Yeah.
It's not going to be very... It's not going to be like, you're going to wish they went back to NXT just like everybody else. And by the way, Jake, what do you think of NXT last week? Because it feels like
It just wasn't as good.
Well,
It
no,
wasn't.
but-
The Walter and Kushida match was excellent.
Yeah.
But everything else just was lacking. I did like Velveteen Dream's promo compared to what he did the week before, or 2 weeks before. It was much more focused. It had a bit of edgy comedy to it, and I did like, the idea of what he was trying to get across. Oh, you got a small dick, and you're not going to, compete with me. It was funny, but all in all, that was, as far as things stood out, Walter's match and obviously Dream's promo. The rest of it, everything else just fell flat. Ripley's match was a quick squash. I knew that's what they were going for, but it just felt underwhelming. Leo Rush's title victory was extremely short. They should have given them like an extra at least 5 minutes. And that was the problem, Again, good wrestling, but just hardly any story. And I'm huge on NXT. It was disappointing.
It felt like the first week they tried to put on a takeover.
Yeah,
almost
it was unbelievable. The matches were amazing, and they told stories within the matches, and that's what saved them. But this week they really needed to showcase their characters better and exemplify more. Having Ciampa show up and say Goldie, I'm back. It was or I'm home. That was cool, but I know it'll get better, but that was pretty much the only bit of storytelling we had was the whole Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong, Velveteen Dream, Tommaso Ciampa moment. Everything else was just lacking.
What you should have watched instead, everybody, is my Velveteen Dream versus Cody Rhodes match. It's,
TIW.
The TIW match. It was it had much more action. Look at this. Look at some of this, everybody in the chat. This is better. Look, what I cracked up about was when this guy got tossed into a fucking steel post. I'll show you this in a minute. Because it was whacked out.
Dream did that just to sucker.
I went with the whole story that Velveteen Dream stole Dusty Rhodes' name and Cody Rhodes took offense to it.
Him into this match right
So
now.
good.
High up in the center of the ring. Championship on the line. Oh, over the top rope.
Watch me toss him in the
Shoulder
post.
tackle there and looking.
This
right
is
to
funny.
the back of the head. Oh, Cody's got his feet on the ropes too. Oh, Velveteen still kicked out. And now Velveteen Dream with a short tackle, shoulder tackle there, and look at this. Look at this from Dream.
What is that?
Rhodes barely back to his feet on the outside, and he got knocked out. Off the apron. Velveteen Dream's on the top rope. Will the Dream fly? Yes! Double axe handle across the head of the American Nightmare. Now Rhodes with Velveteen
This is
Dream
hilarious.
up. What's Rhodes gonna do? Rhodes, oh, he just tossed Velveteen Dream right into the steel post.
What in the world?
Man, the spine of Velveteen Dream just bounced off the steel outside, and now Boston Crab. Boston Crab by Rhodes. Velveteen gets out of it. Shoved him away at TIW Wrestling. Look out. Oh, Dream Driver. The Death Valley Driver. 1, 2. We could have a new champion. We do.
I can't believe Velveteen Dream became the new Monetize This TIW champion the other night. It was crazy stuff. But no, that sometimes I wonder why the WWE can't put together better stories in so many different ways. When in the video game, I've seen tons of creators on YouTube just put together these great stories. Because I remember as a kid having 2 VCRs and putting the 2 tapes in and playing the video game, and I would take my microphone and plug it into the VHS thing in like 1998, 1997, 8, 9, and I'd do commentary over the video game into a VHS tape while recording, and I'd create my own shows, and I'd like make copies of the VHSs, and I would go into my school to all the kids that liked wrestling, and I would sell the fucking VHSs for like, I think it was like $3 or $4 or something. I would sell VHS tapes of the show, and I'd call it like, whatever I called it, FCW fucking whatever the fuck I called it. And it's like, it's so funny now because I dreamed of a game where there was this type of customization, and now for years 2K has been able to put out the exact customization that we used to dream about in 1997 and 6, and you could change the ropes and do some funny little entrances, but you really couldn't do what you can do now. And all of that stuff allows people to be so creative. So as long as you have pretty good commentators or like funny commentary on these 2K streams, it's like this shit's more entertaining because it's more creative, and that's stupid. Like, how can that be that it's more entertaining than WWE? Not saying mine is, but like some of these people who spend hours like building rings and building pay-per-views and building titles and shit, and then they cut with storylines. Like it's like it's literally better than watching WWE sometimes. How is that possible? What is wrong with this company?
Don't know.
I can't believe that. 2K does. I mean, 2K is a mess. I mean, it's the same game every year almost. And they upload the same thing.
According to some people, that the control scheme has been made more arcadey this year, which is what a lot of people were going for. A little more intuitive and seamless. So we'll see how it works. But they also, now you can have intergender matches again. Well, you can have a female My Career story. Yeah, which I saw some of that on Twitter before. It looks pretty cringy, but still, I mean, at least there's the option for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I hated the fact that they took away intergender matches. It's a video game. You should be able to do, whatever you want and however you want to create it. But so there's a lot more. They have your own custom WrestleMania arena, I guess, too. So it's WrestleMania 2029. I was being told, Matt said, and you can create your own WrestleMania arena.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty damn cool.
Like a giant arena then.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can really go ahead and create some pretty cool customization, option things in there. Sounds like it'll be a good time.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I wish they would just update the previous title, but it seems like there's enough changes in this one. Plus, they're adding like bizarre story DLCs with it. Like the first one is Bump in the Night, so you have to defeat a bunch of zombie and monster characters, like Braun Strowman's like a Frankenstein and things like that, and that's how you unlock Bray Wyatt. You have to go through his tower to actually unlock him. You can't just play as him.
Oh, wow, okay. Wow, so that's if you buy that?
It's monster, you have to buy that pack.
And then you still have to do something to unlock them still, even if you buy it.
Yeah, it comes for everybody that pre-ordered the game, and if you didn't pre-order it, then it's I think $14.99 just for that pack, or it's $29.99 for the entire season pass, which comes with 4 packs coming up, and the first one is the monster themed Bump in the Night one. It's got like Bray's own arena and stuff like that, so it looks really interesting. It's different, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
and speaking of interesting. Have you heard the whole rundown for Dynamite Wednesday?
Yeah, this Wednesday it's packed.
I mean, we got Jericho and Darby Allin, which I can't wait for. That's going to be a Philly street fight. Then we have Riho taking on Britt Baker for the women's title. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page is taking on Moxley and Pac. And then Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, so, the Jungle Express are taking on, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. SCU is taking on Best Friends, and then I think there's something else that I'm missing as well, but that is massive. That is 2 straight hours, and Jericho said, he's bringing the Painmaker this week.
Well, and the other thing about them is, like, we're seeing a lot of repetitive people. There's people that are left off the roster, but it's like with All Elite or All Elite Wrestling AEW, it's like. They're gonna. I bet you it's like they're gonna manage to basically not get stale. Hopefully, you would like to think with less people than WWE. Isn't there a street fight? You said like there's gonna be like a street fight or something like that.
Yeah, the Philadelphia street fight for the AEW Championship. Darby Allin and Jericho.
Episode 4 of Elite Wrestling Podcast is coming out this week, guys. I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff. It's not just about AEW, but it is strongly themed on AEW. So I will have episode 4. We launched this back in June. I've only done 3 episodes, but there'll be a 4th episode coming. Some people have told me they've had trouble on iTunes. If you guys could check that on iTunes and let me know if you have trouble with my Elite Wrestling Podcast on iTunes, please let me know if it's not playing. I feel like something with the new podcast site host that I'm using, I don't know, I haven't liked it, and if that's the case, I might switch out, but I don't know, let me know how you feel about that. They're old episodes, but there'll be a new one this week. I'm also looking for some new co-hosts out there, people that want to do podcasts or that really want to talk about wrestling. I need people who can really talk. I don't want to have somebody who's like, yeah, I don't know. Like I like you're ready to go. You have as long as you're pretty decent, I would bring you on as a part-time co-host to my All Elite, my Extreme Wrestling podcast, and some of the other stuff that I'm doing. So if you have that, please send me if you have a podcast, send me your podcast, send me your YouTube, whatever, of you talking about wrestling, talking about whatever, and I will at least add you to the rotation of guests. Like, hey, we're joined by this guy now for a little while. We talk to you, and then maybe somebody has the potential of being a more permanent person with me. So if you have that, email me, joecronenshow@yahoo.com, and just make sure you put your links in there so I can go listen to whatever. And, and I can add your phone number, that type of stuff. And if you're a patron and you're not getting through and you want to get through on Patreon, DM me. Just when you want to call, being a caller, I'll make sure that I try to add you in the system so it's easier for you to get through. But, all of that, blah, 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 you get it. But, you just send me your stuff. Make sure you're ready to go, though. Don't make, you know what I mean? I don't want to take on somebody who's like, I don't know, what? You got to have opinions. I want somebody who has opinions. Maybe you disagree with me on a bunch of shit. That would be even better. If somebody really disagrees with me, we could really focus the whole show around that. But whatever. You kind of agree, you kind of disagree, whatever the case is. Send me your shit. Well, doesn't matter if you get a little shitty mic or something. I don't care if you got if you're really good and you got a phone, fuck it, I'll still do it. But I mean, ideally, video camera's a plus, on video's a plus. But just a microphone and a Skype works for me too. Anything last on the show and whatever else tonight, Jake?
That's it. That's everything I've seen as far as news goes as well. So,
yeah,
I'm excited for Throwdown tomorrow. It should be a good time.
Tuesday night Throwdown tomorrow night on my other channel, Corrupted Nation, guys. Remember that? And looking at the news, I don't know if there's anything else I really wanted to get into.
Yeah, I kind of, search through and we'll see what happens with the rest of the free agents, and we'll find out what happens with that trade tomorrow. That's kind of the big thing to look forward to.
Mike Kanellis asked for his release. What will happen with that? Probably they'll tell him no, just like they told Luke Harper no. And everybody else they told no to. And real quick, let's go to one last call. I'm going to give tonight's Raw a 1 out of 10. Absolutely abysmal.
I was going to give it a 2.5.
Yeah, I'm going to be a dickhead because
I don't blame you.
They put me to sleep for 3 freaking hours. I never will forgive you for this night. And WWE, oh my God. 908, hello.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jacob.
What's up, Jacob?
Hey, what's going on?
Last call, huh?
Yeah, baby.
Yo, Jake, thank you for that. I appreciate you. You know what I'm talking about.
No problem.
Yeah, Joe, I wanted to, because you brought it up, I wanted to actually piggyback on what you said and what you were saying about the 2K games. Just so you know, actually, that's also why I also never brought it up before on calls, because you don't really play those games like that. I do. NBA 2K20 also sucks, by the way. NBA 2K19 sucked.
Well, I think
WWE 2K19 sucked. Like, I'm going to be honest with you.
No, it does suck. That's why I don't play it. That's why I don't play it, because I don't like the mechanics of the game.
It's kind of funny how, ironically, the one thing about these 2K games, the problem is creative. That's the fucking funny part. They don't create nothing for these games. It's the same, like you said, same shit. Same copy. Every fucking game, just different cover. Different fucking star. Different, But yo, to be honest with you, bro, 2K20 is trash. And also, CM Pulse basically buried this fucking game already, but this game, like WWE 2K20.
Well, he's a cum sucker. He's a cum sucker anyway, so I hope he fucking...
Oh, no, he is. He is. But trust me, he made that fucking game look terrible, but that game already looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, but he usually sucks.
He usually sucks their ass. Yeah, he's usually a bitch.
He gobbles them down. So if he's shitting on it, then
he must not have got his press pass this time.
He's a turkey. He gobbles. Trust me, I know that.
Oh yeah,
but he's speaking facts when it comes to this fucking game. 2K does not know what they're doing with games anymore. I don't know what's up with them.
It's a roster update. Hey, pay for this new roster update, everybody. And we tweaked a couple things, and that's it. Yep.
Yeah. See, because they said they were adding a bunch of new like customization stuff for people that want to make stuff. From what I saw with that, I don't know, like if you're really into creating your own roster and making all the people that aren't in the game, you want to make Cody Rhodes, you want to make, apparently they're fine tuning that process. But as far as like the normal gameplay aspect of it, like if you're just going to pick up and you want to play one-on-one and all that, that still needs a lot of work. So
man, bro, you know what I miss? SmackDown versus Raw 2007, 2006, bro. Those games were awesome. These fucking games are just, have you seen how like the graphics of the in-game looks? How all their fucking wrestlers are just standing in the same fucking stance. They're all looking straight. Nobody moves, or nobody has like their own signature pose or.
Well, I saw some of the story mode that I said was cringy, Jake.
Okay, man.
And the story mode stuff looked super cringy, but it also looked like Nintendo 64 graphics at times. Like it was very blocky, and so that was a bit worrisome.
Yeah, I'd be worried. It's like everything. It's like NHL and Madden. It's the same sort of thing. They barely update anything, and then the game comes out. That's why I haven't bought, for the first time in, 17 years, I haven't bought NHL yet. Because we were lucky enough that Gorilla Strong got us the copies of wrestling last year. Gorilla Strong, yes.
Like four days later, my capture card broke, so that was a great timing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like we wouldn't have no bullshit. I wasn't gonna buy anything last year, and then people bought it for me. Otherwise, I wasn't gonna buy it. And guess what? This year, everything's kind of been a little bit more down money wise for everybody. I haven't bought it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, like you said, you won't buy NHL. I won't buy WWE. If GameFly can send it, I can rent it or something. Maybe I'll look into it, but I'm not gonna. I don't have money to spend on it anyways. But even if I did, I wouldn't suggest paying for it.
Yeah, dude.
And especially for the fact of if you guys desperately want this game, wait 2 weeks. Please don't buy it on release. Wait the 2 weeks, because we literally saw it come out last year. And Gorilla Strong, was so nice to buy it for us. And then 2 weeks later, it was like $30 off with the season pass for an extra $10.
Ugh.
So you went from $100 price tag to $40.
That's crazy.
It went straight down. And then, they had that special sale. Then it was down, only, by $20. So it went to 80 instead of 100 because it went back up. Then Black Friday came and it was even cheaper than that. So just... If you really do want it, don't pre-order. Just wait a little bit, and you can get all the pre-order bonuses still included because you're gonna have to get the season pass. So you can buy the whole, gold edition whatever combo for a month later for all half price, if not more.
What is this? What did somebody tweet me? Oh, someone tweeted me something in the 2K. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what that is either, man.
I saw Bianca Belair's entrance thing, and her hair looks like a wild anaconda snake freaking out. It's insane.
That's what Dave Rose called it when he was doing the 2K show one day.
Yeah, go figure.
Well, let's get the fuck out of here, guys. I give it a crap hole out of 10. I hope you guys, if you're out there and you guys want to support the show, you want to get my morning podcast that I put out there, Morning Madness. You want to get the Corrupted podcast with me and Justin Bailey and my wife and everybody else. You want to get me and my wife's podcast and then some other bonus stuff that's going on Patreon. About 30 hours of bonus content a month if you're at least in the $5 to $10 category. And think about joining my Patreon, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. We're at 384 patrons right now.
Damn, almost at 400.
Got to get that 400. We're going to do a 24-hour stream, but you're going to love it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I was going to suggest for Wednesday's show, maybe we just stick with the AEW review that seemed to be, and then Thursday for Out of Nowhere we can highlight NXT.
Yeah, that
people seem to enjoy that last week better.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do AEW Wednesday and do NXT Thursday with the Out of Nowhere. I'm down with that too.
Yeah, kind of highlight. And I mean, if something drastic happens on NXT that has to be discussed, obviously we'll make sure to let you know and bring it up. But
yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to the show. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. We got everything. We went really late tonight, actually, to be honest. Credit to Jake for staying here because he could have bailed an hour ago, probably.
Yeah, babe. We're making it sexy.
We're making it sexy, baby. That should be the new T-shirt. Joe Cronin Show.
Sexy.
making it sexy. All right, good night, everybody. Follow me on Twitter at CorruptedPod, JoeCronenShow@yahoo.com, Instagram.com/JoeCronenShow. Pictures of me and my family beating up animals. No, I'm just kidding. I love animals. That's about it. You want to be a sponsor of the show or plug something, hit me up for that. And again, check out TitleMatchWrestlingNetwork.com. Use coupon code Cronin. And if you guys want to listen to Chris Jericho's book or some other book audio-wise, you get a free audiobook from The Joe Cronin Show on Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/JCS. And you can get that. I think. Let me make sure it's still working. Is it still working? Yeah. Yeah, it's still working. audibletrial.com/JCS. You get a free audiobook. Good night. Oh, don't forget about my Pro Wrestling Tees. I still have a shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, but also Teespring. Joe Cronin Show Teespring. Tons of T-shirts and mugs and stickers from all my past shirts, sweatshirts, cups, mugs, all that stuff on my Teespring site. Links are down below in the description box, or just search it on Google. You'll find it. Good night. I'm really going. Bye. Hit up Jake at Countdown Ended.
This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude.